All right, guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, or bienvenidos for those south of the Rio Grande. Guys, welcome in. We've got a lot to talk about. This was a busy weekend for your humble host. I had oh, great. I got to fly in here again. I thought I got them all out. I have kids, and kids indoors don't always see eye to eye. You know, sometimes they close them. Most of the time they don't. So when you live in the South and you have kids and they don't close doors, you end up with the situation we have here in this house right now, which is a random fly wandering around. Guys, big bunch of news to cover today. I think we've uncovered something potentially massive, and how I cover it, I think, really depends on how it goes after today, because I think we're going to say some things today that are pretty shocking. Some inside information out of TPUSA, and got a little follow-up to our Butler story as well, Butler, Pennsylvania. And finally, we have Robbie Boy back in the ring back in the ring. Rob McCoy makes a rare appearance. Allie Top Files caught it. Candace amplified it, and your humble host is going to dig in with a fork and a knife because he's cooked. Oh! I didn't mean it that way. I don't mean it in a violent way, Mr. McCoy. I mean in the most positive way possible. But we've got a lot to talk about. A couple things first. I want to cover something right out of the gate because I always tend to forget this. Nurse Casey always gets upset with me, and then I have to hear from her afterwards. We have some new merch items. I want to get this out of the way up front because these are some requested items. Let me see if I can find a couple of them here. These are all available on realbaronpodcast.com. I don't remember what she said. Oh, this new Go Max line. Check this out. Doesn't that look good? I think that looks great. So that is new. And there was something. Oh, it says also available in sweatshirt. How about that? My B. We got a My B lineup of merch. And then I think there was some other stuff that made it onto some different, onto some ladies tees, ladies tanks and stuff like that. So go check it out if you are interested at all in the merch lineup at realbaronpodcast.com. So that's number one. Number two, we did a mention last Thursday of the GoFundMe for our friend who passed away last week. It was at 51,000 or 49,000, I think, when I put the notice up for the show, like 51,000 by the time we went live. It's currently sitting at $278,000. You guys came through in a big way. I remember saying before we put the show up, I was like, man, I bet we could raise $5,000 or $10,000 really quickly. That would be a massive lift of the burden on that family. $5,000 or $10,000, I mean, that's a lot of money. Holy mackerel, guys, you blew the doors off of this. $278,000. Almost 6,000 individuals donated to the fund. And his beautiful bride has sent me a thank you, and I will read it to you. I asked her if I could read it. She does not mind. So let me read this to you. This was gorgeous. I keep searching for the words to express my gratitude, but nothing feels sufficient. All I keep thinking about is how this gives me the greatest gift. Time. Time is precious. Becomes deeply personal when you lose someone you love. This morning, my oldest was processing his emotions and said, quote, I would sacrifice anything for time, more time, even just 1 minute. Over the past week, I've repeatedly wished for this same thing. While we can't have more time with him here on earth, we've been given the gift of time to grieve, process, and heal together. Because of friends, family, and thousands of strangers, I'll have more time to grieve and to just be sad. More time to help my kids process their grief and talk about the hope of heaven. More time to tell stories about Daddy and how much he loved us. More time to lean into God for strength. Time that won't be consumed by fear and worry about tomorrow, but instead spent loving the ones closest to me. Is there a greater gift than that? If you donated to our family, even just $1, thank you. In a world that feels ugly at times, let this be a reminder that there is still so much good, and God is in the midst of all of it. I'll be praying that God blesses each of you tenfold. Christ is King. And that is from Jeff's wife. It was just absolutely beautiful. Time is precious. Time is precious. I was so very concerned about her family. I know that this goes on every day all over the country. I don't know those people, and if that doesn't lessen their burden, obviously their burden is probably the same. Sometimes even maybe greater, depending on the situation. I don't know. Like, I'm not judging anybody's grief or situation. But when you know someone personally, it impacts you more. Like if your next door neighbor dies, it's a greater impact on you than if, some random guy in Bangladesh dies. I mean, both tragic, right? But one impacts you just from proximity. And so this one impacted our family quite a bit. And our community here stepped up. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for each and every one of you. Thank you. I don't want to belabor the point. You have given her time. You've given her children time. You have alleviated a massive burden, which is, how do we get gas? How do we pay a power bill? How do we fix a flat tire? Like all those problems for now have been alleviated. So thank you. Thank you for that. If you contributed in any way, I genuinely appreciate it. Okay. I want to do an opening. Now this opening is not terribly long, but I'm doing it. This is one I've wanted to do for a while. But I'm doing it because there is something we're going to cover tonight that I could not figure out why it was happening. And then I was reminded of the Brady Doctrine, the Brady Doctrine. So this is going to be a little law school 101 for you lawyers. It's going to be a little maybe above law school 101 for those of you who have no legal background. I did my best in this opening to break it down as simply as I could and clear up a major source of confusion. So with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you just a little legal insight, I think, into one of the things taking place as we speak right now in the case against Tyler Robinson in the investigation into the death of Charlie Kirk. So, without further ado, this is your opening statement. James Brady. James Brady was an American journalist and later a public official who served as the White House press secretary for Ronald Reagan. That was all the way back in 1981. January 1981 is when he started. Just 69 days later, March 30th, 1981, John Hinckley Jr., allegedly. I mean, I think John Hinckley Jr. played a role. I just don't think he played the whole role. Anyway, that's another opening I've done in the past. Attempted to assassinate President Reagan outside the Washington Hilton Hotel there in Washington, D.C., and in the ensuing gunfire, James Brady was shot in the head at very close range. He miraculously and thankfully survived. He had emergency surgery. He had months of hospitalization, and he suffered permanent disabilities. He has partial paralysis on the left side. He had speech difficulties, cognitive impairments, and he never returned to full-time work. But James Brady and his wife became gun control advocates, stricter gun control advocates, leading advocates. It's admittedly an odd position for a former Reagan appointee, but in 1981, the world was a little different place. Together, James Brady and his wife helped drive the passage of the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act. This was the Brady bill. It was signed into law by Bill Clinton. It created a national instant background check system for firearm purchases if you buy them from a licensed firearm dealer. And it imposed waiting periods in its original form. And so while his legacy is closely tied to violence prevention, when we're talking about the Brady Doctrine, and that's what I'm going to explain for the rest of this, when we're talking about the Brady Doctrine, or sometimes called the Brady Rule, or I've heard it called the Brady Disclosure Obligation, that's an entirely separate and earlier development in U.S. constitutional criminal procedure. It has no real connection whatsoever to the 1981 assassination attempt. It doesn't have any association with the Brady gun bill from 1993 or any of the gun control laws. It stems instead from a 1963 Supreme Court decision. It was a totally different man named John Brady. 1958, John Leo Brady and a guy named Charles Boblet were convicted in separate Maryland trials, both of first-degree murder of a guy named William Brooks. The murder took place during a robbery. Brady admitted to participating in the robbery, but he consistently claimed he did not kill the guy. that the Boblet was the actual killer. Before the trial, Brady's lawyers asked to examine all the statements that Boblet gave. Do you have any statements in your possession from Boblet? And the prosecution turned over a bunch of statements, but they deliberately withheld a single statement, one from July 9th, 1958, in which Boblet confessed to committing the homicide all by himself. Well, because the jury was not able to see this, because the defense didn't know about it, Brady was convicted, and he was also sentenced to death. After his conviction was affirmed on appeal, the withheld confession surfaced. The Maryland Court of Appeals then granted a new trial, limited solely to the issue of punishment. The U.S. Supreme Court affirmed that result, but they used the case to announce a new broad constitutional rule, and that's what we refer to as the Brady Rule. And Justice William Douglas wrote the decision for the court. He said, the suppression by the prosecution of evidence favorable to an accused who's requested it violates due process if the evidence is material to either guilt or punishment, irrespective of good faith or bad faith of the prosecution. In other words, if the prosecution has evidence, and that evidence would be material to either the guilt or innocent, then they have to turn it over. Particularly if it goes towards exculpation, meaning it tends to prove the guy didn't do the crime. This was the Brady Doctrine. Prosecutors now have a constitutional duty under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. They have to disclose material evidence favorable to the defense. And the rule was not in isolation. There were other earlier due process cases about prosecutorial misconduct. The overriding one that everyone was using at the time was Mooney versus Holohan from all the way back in 1935. And that prohibited the use of knowingly perjurous testimony. In other words, if the prosecution knew a witness was lying, they could not then put the lying witness on the stand in order to convict somebody. Brady then shifted that and said, hey, we don't worry about bad faith. We don't care about bad faith. We're just worried about the prejudicial effect. If anything has a prejudicial effect, we don't care whether they knew or not. And then after Brady, there were additional Supreme Court decisions that actually, I don't want to say expanded, but maybe clarified the Brady Doctrine. There was a Supreme Court case that said impeachment evidence that can undermine the credibility of a government witness, also is Brady material. So we could talk about that in the case of Tyler Robinson's case. If the government had evidence that would undermine the credibility of, let's say, Lance Twiggs, they would have to turn that over. Then there was a case that says there's a duty to disclose even without a specific defense request. Meaning, if you're sitting in possession of evidence and the defense doesn't specifically ask for it, but you know it's exculpatory, you still have to turn it over. That's a broad rule there, but it all goes in terms of having a fair trial for the defendant. Whether the defendant knows the evidence exists or not is irrelevant. Then there was a case in 1985. It sort of unified, I guess, the materially standard and eliminated any distinction based on whether the request was made. So evidence now is material, according to the Supreme Court, if there's a reasonable probability that the disclosure would have produced a different result at trial. This is not more likely than not. It's whether or not there's an undermining of confidence in the verdict based on the refusal or the failure to disclose the evidence. And then finally, back in 1995, and there really hadn't been much with the Brady Doctrine since, there was a case called Kiles versus Whitley that emphasized prosecutors have a duty to learn of favorable evidence known to the entire prosecution team, including police and investigators. So withheld evidence must be evaluated collectively, not item by item. And the prosecution can't avoid disclosure by claiming ignorance. That was a big one. That right there was a big one. So Brady material now can be classified. We can look at what Brady material is. We've got this line of cases. And it's basically any information that tends to negate guilt, tends to reduce punishment, tends to impeach prosecution witnesses. So I'll give you some examples. Let's say you have evidence pointing to another perpetrator. I'll give you a good example from the Tyler Robinson case. We have radio transmissions from the police officers stating that there's a guy in all black with long hair running from one of the roofs. Well, Tyler Robinson doesn't have long hair. Now, if they had that in their possession and they didn't turn it over to the defense, that would be a violation. I don't think anybody would doubt that that tends to point to another perpetrator. Inconsistent prior statements by witnesses. So, for example, in the Tyler Robinson case, Lance Twiggs, they're going to introduce a statement given by him on April 20th. And that April 20th statement is what's going to be used at the preliminary hearing. Well, he gave a statement on September 11th. What if the statements are inconsistent? They have to turn it over. Any inconsistencies have to be identified and given to the defense. Promises of leniency, any kind of benefit given to a cooperating witness. So if Lance Twiggs is going to get a deal, limited immunity, even just for the particular statement, not just generally for the case, that has to be disclosed. And they did disclose that. Police misconduct records. That kind of seems like it doesn't apply, but it does because it goes towards the officer's credibility. And then you have scientific or forensic evidence that weakens the prosecution's case. So any of these pieces of evidence that falls into one of these categories has to be given over. We're going to talk about one of those today. It's nothing I've mentioned so far yet. Prosecutors bear this duty. It's an affirmative continuing duty, and they have to identify and disclose this material, and they have to do it promptly. They have to do it promptly, ideally well before a trial or even the plea negotiations take place, if they know about it before the plea negotiations take place. That way the defense can use it appropriately and effectively to help, navigate a strategy. This obligation extends to information in the possession of police and even other government agencies acting on the prosecution's behalf. A lot of prosecutor offices maintain just flat open file practices. You want discovery? Here's everything we got. We don't have anything else. Now, that doesn't alleviate the burden of going and finding other evidence that they think might work or might satisfy Brady or might qualify for Brady. But at least they're not hiding anything. They just say, here's our file. What do you want? Some prosecution offices, larger ones typically, even have specialized units whose only job is to look for Brady material or think about what could be Brady material and go find it. This kind of compliance helps avoid any reversible error. That's the biggest thing a prosecution team ever wants to have is reversible error. They don't want reversible error. They don't want mistrials. They don't want post-conviction relief. As soon as they get a ruling from the jury, they want that to be the end of the case. So a lot of times they'll even disclose borderline material just out of an abundance of caution. It helps build credibility, frankly, with the court and even the jury. Violations can result in not only overturned convictions, but also professional discipline. There are rules in the model rules of conduct that can sanction people for violating Brady, sanction prosecutors for violating Brady. It's an indication they take it very seriously. The prosecutors can be held responsible. Violations are often discovered only after the conviction, so prosecutors have a strong institutional incentive to err on the side of disclosure. So defense counsel, one of the things they do is they just routinely file specific or even very general Brady motions. Or just very broad discovery requests. That way, if any material is withheld, the defense has immediate remedies available. They can argue for mistrial. They can argue for exclusion of related evidence. They can argue for a dismissal of all the charges. After conviction, Brady violations are typically cured with a new trial. Sometimes, very rarely, would a court step in or an appellate court step in and reverse a conviction, but a lot of times they'll give you a new trial if there was significant Brady material withheld. These claims often lead to these vacated convictions or new trials. At trial, disclosed Brady material is used aggressively, often very aggressively. Sometimes it makes the whole defense for the defense, this Brady material. They want to use it to impeach witnesses, support alternative theories. They even argue for lesser charges or reduced sentences. Sometimes even in a plea bargain, the defendants may, I don't want to say leverage, that's not the right word, but use this Brady material to negotiate and try to get a better outcome. You know, victory is not always a defense verdict. Sometimes the best you can do for a victory is hope your guy gets 15 years instead of life. And that's, you know, you have a lot of times you have a very serious conversation with your client when they walk in. They're very obviously guilty. It's very obvious the evidence is against them. And you just have to say, what do you think victory is? If they say, well, a not guilty verdict, they'll say, okay, well, you're not realistic. If you want to work with me, we got to talk about what victory is. Victory might just be you don't go to death. You don't get a death penalty. You don't go to prison for life. The Brady Doctrine has become a cornerstone of fair trials. This is an adversarial system here in the United States, and it counts on honesty, it counts on integrity, it counts on honor, it counts on everybody playing by the rules. But the Brady Doctrine recognizes the prosecutor's role is not simply to secure convictions, but to serve justice and to ensure the defense has access to all the evidence that could favor the defense. Violations still occur. They're rare, but they occur. They still contribute to wrongful convictions. Again, it's rare, but it happens. It's been instrumental in a lot of exonerations. It continues to shape discovery practices. There's prosecutorial training on it. There are like nationwide ethical standards that courts have adopted. And so back to where we began, James Brady doesn't have anything to do with it. A lot of people think that because he got shot in the head, his name was Brady, and then all of a sudden he was a gun rights advocate. And now you got this Brady Doctrine, and people think it's not him. It's not him. So I wanted to dispel that notion and give you just kind of a brief outline of what it is. But it is one of the most frequently litigated and consequential rules in criminal procedure, even more than 6 decades after it was created. And that is your opening statement. Someone complained the other day, I don't say that anymore. I do. I just did. All right. Why are we talking Brady? I've come into some information. And frankly, I'm shocked by it. I have learned about some statements made by a top TPUSA executive. I'm going to go through some of them tonight. Not going to go through everything that I heard he said, but I'm going to go through some of it tonight. I believe it's factual. I believe everything I heard was, in fact, uttered by this TPUSA executive. Later, maybe I can explain why I believe that. But I do believe everything I've heard is accurate. I don't believe anything we say tonight will be a misrepresentation of what the top TPUSA executive said. We're going to cover a wide range of issues. For example, what were Charlie Kirk's views on Zionism and dispensationalism? I feel like I have insight into that now. What about the camera footage? Well, we talked a lot about the camera footage that's around. There were like 4 or 5 TPUSA cameras surrounding Charlie, basically from 360 degrees. We'll talk about it. Where is that footage? Who has access to it? Who has seen it? I think I know, or at least I knew at the time these statements were made. What does TPUSA as an organization, and what is the general consensus inside of TPUSA about whether Tyler Robinson committed the crime, whether he committed the crime alone, or whether he had help? I now have an idea of what the general consensus at least was, but may still be, inside of TPUSA. And then I have a little bonus at the end. I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, but there was something I heard this guy said, and I thought, man, that's consistent with what I've heard before, but I've never heard it out of the mouth of a TPUSA executive, or I've never heard it attributed to a TPUSA executive. I did in this conversation, and it shocked me. It shocked me that they're so open about it, because I think it's deeply, deeply dishonest. So let me go through some of these. After we get done with this, if we have time, I think we will. I want to go through A little factoid we came across, Daisy discovered about the Butler case, Butler, Pennsylvania case. That's just a real small section I want to cover if I have time. And then if we really have time, we'll get to Rob McCoy coming back. And I'd like to do that one no matter what, even if we run late. So let me roll through some of these statements because I think they're pretty shocking. I want to just open up with the Zionism case. One of the reasons I did not particularly care for Charlie Kirk for a number of years, or I didn't dislike him at all. I didn't have a problem in the world with him. I wish the best for him. But I didn't love his politics. And one of the main reasons I didn't love his politics is he came across, or at least TPUSA as an organization came across, as a committed Zionist organization. They came across as an organization who was absolutely committed to Zionists, that promoted this idea of dispensationalism that I find remarkably non-Christian, abiblical, meaning not non-biblical, but maybe even non-biblical, but certainly abiblical, not in there. And everybody kept trying to force Charlie Kirk into this Zionist role. And for years, he sort of played the part, I think. I mean, it's the way it came across. I'm going to tell you something that a top TPUSA executive allegedly said. The first thing he said is Charlie Kirk was not a dispensationalist or a Zionist at any level. Not a dispensationalist or a Zionist at any level. Which shocked me. Because, we had Rob McCoy running TPUSA Faith for a number of years. We have all these top donors, these billionaire donors. They are pushing out of the conversation, or attempting to push out of the conversation, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith. A lot of people, most people consider conservative or libertarian, who the main reason they're getting pushed out is because they're not promoting dispensationalism or Zionism. In other words, dispensationalism is, I think, can be broadly defined as, okay, Jesus came, and when he came, it sort of fulfilled the old covenant in that man. And so if you wanted to continue practicing that old covenant religion, you now had to follow Jesus. Get baptized, go to church, all that good stuff, right? So that was that's the nature of the distinction between dispensationalism and not. In fact, the guy went on to say, not only was he not dispensationalist at any level, not only was he not Zionist at any level, but he also found a lot of value in what he called fulfillment theology. That's what I call, or actually I think he called it replacement theology. I would call it fulfillment theology. So this is this idea that Jesus fulfilled the old covenant. So the old covenant goes away. That's why they knocked the temple down in AD 70. God says, okay, we're done. We don't need a temple anymore. It's gone. But I thought that was pretty shocking. It was a pretty shocking opening salvo to what this TPUSA executive said. It totally flips on its head everything they're trying to shove down our throats about Charlie Kirk, that he was some sort of Zionist, Ziono master. Well, no. In fact, the guy went on to say, allegedly, and I believe it's accurate, I believe we could prove it's accurate if we had to, that Charlie was able to recognize the difference between geographic, ethnic, and political Israel. That's a bold statement, because a lot of people on the TPUSA side right now, after Charlie Kirk died, are unwilling to make that distinction. If like Mike Huckabee does not make that distinction. Rob McCoy does not make that distinction. They don't make a distinction between geographic Israel, meaning the land that we currently call Israel, between Jordan and Lebanon and Egypt. They don't make a distinction between that slice of land, ethnic people who are believed to make up Israeli descendants, and political Israel, meaning the government that runs the current political state of Israel. A lot of people don't make that distinction. We mentioned Mike Huckabee by name, Rob McCoy by name, but there's a whole lot of them. Ted Cruz doesn't make that distinction. A lot of people don't make that distinction. And apparently Charlie Kirk did, according to this top TPUSA executive. They said he wasn't full on replacement theology, but he found a lot of those guys interesting. but he definitely was not a dispensationalist or a Zionist. For example, according to this guy, Charlie Kirk routinely said we should be able to criticize or ask questions about the government of Israel without people harassing him about it. He died, I think, partially because he believed that. Because people around him did not believe that you could not ask questions about the political Israel, ethnic Israel, or Israel of the land, geographic Israel. You weren't allowed to ask questions. And if so, you might die. And he did. And so that was shocking. I heard that this was said. I heard the person it was attributed to. I know this is a very, very top executive at TPUSA. It's not Erica Kirk, for those that are wondering, but it is a top executive. If I was compelled to tell you the name, you would all go, oh, okay. Not a contractor, an executive. So it was shocking. Now, that was Zionism and dispensationalism. Well, had I known all that, I probably would have had a different view on Charlie Kirk during those years. Because again, there was like a 4 or 5 year period that Charlie Kirk was not my cup of tea because of that singular issue. I am not a dispensationalist in any stretch of the imagination. I'm an opposite of that. I'm an anti-dispensationalist. I don't believe it's biblical. I don't believe it's philosophically correct. I don't believe it's logically correct. I think it's wrong. I understand a lot of people hold that position. I don't care. I mean, that's up to them. I don't like it when it causes people to die. I don't like when we fight wars over that position. But if I'd have known that Charlie Kirk was not a dispensationalist or Zionist at any level, that top executives at TPUSA openly spoke this way, that he was able to recognize the difference between geographic, ethnic, and political Israel, that he found replacement theology people interesting, I might have thought differently about him. And I will say this, knowing that this conversation allegedly happened, and I believe it did happen, knowing that a top executive is attributing these things to Charlie Kirk, it doesn't surprise me that he's dead. Because I've heard how Rob McCoy talks about people like this. He doesn't think they have any rights. He doesn't think they have any value in the conversation. He views them as if they're scum. So it doesn't surprise me that he's dead, knowing that a top executive is alleging these things about Charlie Kirk's personal, religious, and political beliefs. In fact, it makes it all the more obvious what I think happened. And why? I mean, we're getting to where the why, who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why, we're getting to where the why is becoming increasingly solved. It's increasingly becoming solved, and it has nothing to do with transferees in St. George. Now, let's go to the camera footage, because there's been a lot of questions about what happened to this camera footage. And we've been told the FBI has everything. But is that true? Is that true? I can tell you at one time it was not true. Based on, again, this top executive from TPUSA and how he described where the camera footage was, who had control over it, and how the FBI had to look at it. So I can state with certainty the FBI had looked at it on a number of occasions, over and over and over. They had to keep accessing it. They wanted to find new information. I don't know what they were looking at. I mean, to me, once you see it once, case solved, right? That's what we're told. That's what we're told, is that it's so obvious it was a 30-06 from the Losi Center. I don't know why you would need to watch it again and again and again. I was told this top executive said the FBI had watched it thousands of times. Why would you need to watch an open and shut case thousands of times? What are you looking for? What all do you see? What is the FBI interested in that it takes them thousands of times of watching Charlie Kirk die? It's a gruesome, graphic image. I can't imagine what the other camera angles show. I can imagine they're higher quality than the ones we have. I can imagine they were rolling at 4K and 8K. I can imagine they were rolling at 60 or maybe 120 or more frames per second. So while we see something happen under the shirt that causes the shirt to do this and pop right down, and there's some blur associated with it, and we can't really tell, was the hole there before the shirt comes up? Did the shirt come up and then there's a hole there afterwards in his neck? Was there ever a hole in the shirt? Like, we don't know that. Like, could you see the charms of the necklace? Could you see any parts of the microphone moving around under there? I think the different angles would give you a lot of good information on that. The only ones we've seen are like cell phone footage from the crowd, which is not very good, frankly. You can't slow it down enough to really get an idea of what's going on. And then we had what Candace released from behind, which looked like it had been clipped up, edited, scrubbed through, not by her. I know a lot of people blamed her for that. That wasn't by her. I saw the original of what she received. It was that scrubbing and editing. That was all done before she saw it. So what is the FBI looking at? Why do they keep going back to TPUSA over and over and over to view this thing thousands of times? It would indicate to me it's not an open and shut case. It would indicate to me the FBI did not view this as an open and shut case. They did not view this as an obvious 30-06 from the Losi Center. There's something they were looking for. Otherwise, you look at it once and go, oh, all right, charge him. Appreciate it, big dog. Thanks for letting me look at that. I'm not going to be eating lunch now, but you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And then you go off and you charge the guy, and that's it. The fact that you keep going back to TPUSA time and time again, you have to keep watching this thing from different angles thousands of times. There's something the FBI is interested in that footage, and it's no wonder to me why we have not been privy to it. In fact, what I was told is the FBI itself does not have these images. They don't have these videos, or at least they didn't at the time these statements were made. Instead, these images were in the custody of TPUSA the whole time. They were not turned over to the FBI like we were told. In fact, they had to have special software to be accessed, and that software was at TPUSA. And so every time the FBI wanted to see this footage, they had to go through TPUSA's production department to get it. Not Terrell Farnsworth, but the permanent employees of TPUSA, Terrell Farnsworth being, again, just a contractor. That's a really strange set of facts to me. And I put my head all weekend thinking, why is this the case? Why wouldn't TPUSA just turn this stuff over and say, here's the subscription you need to access this? I'm sure it's just some SaaS platform, some sort of Adobe production, or, some sort of MacBook production or whatever. I mean, it's the FBI. It's the freaking FBI. Give them the footage. They'll figure out how to open it. These guys crack open locked iPhones that supposedly can't be cracked open. These guys read, computers that have been wiped 9 times, and they're able to recover everything. They can open a video file. So why don't they have it? That's why I did the opening on the Brady material. I don't think they want to have access to it. I don't think they want it. Because it probably shows things that are consistent more with what we believe, or at least what I believe, than the official narrative. The official narrative, of course, is that Tyler Robinson climbed the Losi Center stairs with a 30-06 somehow. It was down his pants, but he was able to bend both legs. It was down his pants enough that he had to limp, but when he was going up the stairs, he was fine. He was able to bend, but not able to bend both legs walking down a level street, totally able to bend both legs walking upstairs. I don't know how that makes sense. I don't know why the distinction, but that's what we're told. That's the Fed slop narrative. That's what people are going down with. But if it was a 30-06 from the Losi Center, and the video evidence clearly showed that, turn it over to the defense. Enough of this has been released publicly. Maybe release a little snippet of it publicly and say, here, look. I mean, you can blur out. I don't know how you do it, but regardless, the FBI didn't want it. And think about the implication of that. The FBI didn't have it. Does the FBI have to turn it over? Does the prosecution have to turn it over to the defense? Go back and read the Brady. Go back and read the line of Brady cases. The duty to disclose, at least the way I look at it, might stop out government actors. TPUSA, despite acting like a government actor, is not. They're a private organization. That means the defense would have to go get it from them. That's interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Because we are way early from any kind of Brady deadline passing. There is no, Tyler Robinson ain't put in a plea yet, much less a plea negotiation. I mean, they're seeking the death penalty. Are they in active plea negotiations? I doubt it. They haven't even, like I said, haven't even gotten to the preliminary stages yet. We haven't even seen, if you're the defense team, we haven't even seen the first draft, so to speak, of what the prosecution has. And so if the investigator can't access it, allegedly, without running through TPUSA software, and they have to run through TPUSA every single time, that tells me that the government doesn't have it, or at least at the time of this conversation, didn't have it. And that has broad applications for the integrity of both TPUSA, their official narrative. They act like, oh, everybody just accepts it's Tyler Robinson. If you don't accept it's Tyler Robinson, you're an idiot. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a second. Because what I heard next that this person allegedly said blew my mind. We have been subjected on this side to an onslaught, an absolute brutal onslaught of Fed slop people on X, on YouTube, on Rumble, trashing your humble host, trashing Candace Owens, trashing anybody who would suggest that the official story is anything but perfect. The official story, again, is Tyler Robinson did this by himself. That's what the text messages show. I had planned this for a little over a week. I wanted to take this to my grave. I didn't want anybody to know about it. And we're told if you question that, you're demonic, man. You're under the control of Satan. You're a tool of the demons. You're in the dark side. Or you're crazy, or you're just evil for the sake of evil. This is a consistent narrative that comes from the Fed sloppers, and you've got all these people that conspire on X. They have their little group chats on X. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. Oh, they're trying to, oh, there's trouble in paradise. Candace and Barron are fighting. We're not fighting. We talked today or yesterday or today. I can't remember which. There's no fighting. There's unity. Unity now more than ever. Because we're getting somewhere quickly with information like I have here tonight. Because here's what I was told. This is a top TPUSA executive. And when I say top, I mean there's no one above him in this department. Like, this guy answers to the CEO and the board. There's no one above him. This is the tippy top. Now, you could probably name 10 people and you'd probably be right. Probably name 5 people and you'd probably be right who it was. And it's not Andrew Kolvet. He's not a full-time employee. That guy's a contractor. Okay, so let me get back to this. This guy says there are probably people in TPUSA who believe the official narrative is true, but he speaks as if he doesn't know any of them. Meaning, Lisa knows, Graham, Gary, I don't even know all these people's names. All these hacks out there just trying to act like Tyler Robinson did it alone, and that's the only possible theory. And anybody who questions it, anybody who questions the veracity of those text messages, they're out of their mind, they're evil. The TPUSA doesn't even believe that. TPUSA as a whole doesn't believe that. And most of the main normal people at TPUSA don't believe that. There might be some like low-level accounting 2 person in some other building that believes it, but most people don't believe that at TPUSA. That's according to this top executive. There are probably people in TPUSA who think the official narrative is true. And then he breaks down by class other options. He said, for example, there are others who say whether Tyler pulled the trigger or not, he had something to do with it. And that's a big percentage, that's a big portion of the TPUSA employee position. Whether Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger or not, he had something to do with it. Well, you know what? That's my position. That's my position. And I'm being attacked on a daily basis. I get attacked every day. I get called some of the worst names you could possibly imagine. I get some of the worst direct messages you could ever see. And what I'm learning is my position according to a top TPUSA executive, is very much in line with a lot of other top people at TPUSA. Whether or not Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger, he had something to do with it. I don't think he pulled the trigger, but I think he had something to do with it. And that's a big position there. So why are they sending out attack dogs? Why is Andrew Kolvet coordinating with people to go out? And I've got more evidence of coordination I'm going to release this week. Is going to blow your mind. The level of coordination that I can now prove from TPUSA, from TPUSA contractors, from TPUSA employees, with other people that are sent out specifically to destroy people on our side is remarkable, particularly in light of the fact that a top TPUSA executive said that a big position inside of TPUSA is that Tyler Robinson was just involved and may not have pulled the trigger. He went on to say that the general consensus inside of TPUSA is that there were other people in the know and maybe more people acting to support the crime. In other words, Tyler played a role, but there were other people involved. Now, who those people were wasn't said, whether they were Antifa, whether they were members of the furry community, whether they were people like George Zen, whether they were contractors, employees, government actors, intelligence, overseas. That wasn't said. That wasn't stated. So I don't want to put words in the mouth that were not uttered. But the general consensus inside of TPUSA is that there were other people involved. That's my position. That's my position. So why am I being attacked? Why is Candace being attacked? I'm pretty sure that's her position too. I'm pretty sure that's the position of the majority of our audience, is that Tyler Robinson had something to do with it. I believe he was there. I believe he went back that night. May or may not have gone to a steakhouse in Panguitch. May or may not have slipped over to the Dairy Queen to pick up a Blizzard and some tendies. But he was at least there. I believe so. Maybe turns out he wasn't, but I think he was. Whether or not he was texting, whether or not he was carrying a weapon, whether or not he was climbing on buildings, whether or not he was running across buildings, whether or not he was jumping off buildings, whether or not he was pulling triggers, I can't state with certainty. But I do think he was there. And I think he was involved in some capacity. I think his family believes he was involved in some capacity. I don't think they think he did it. But my position is similar to the TPUSA position, the general consensus. The general consensus. That was the word that was used, the phrase that was used. The general consensus inside of Oh, and by the way, I dare you guys to deny this. I challenge you Fed slop narrative pushers. I challenge TPUSA. I challenge Blake Sneff. I challenge Andrew Kolvet. I challenge Tyler Boyer to deny this. I challenge you. It will backfire if you do. You will look very bad. Very bad. And then the person goes on to say that there are people in TPUSA who believe the conspiracy theories, like Candace pushes. His words, not mine. Then there are people who believe the conspiracy theories. So why are we being attacked? Why is TPUSA not being attacked? Because this is so shocking to me that this is the position inside of TPUSA. That it is well known in TPUSA that Charlie was not a Zionist at any level. He was not a dispensationalist at any level. That he understood the difference between geographic, ethnic, and political Israel. But if I say it, I run the risk of getting throttled on YouTube. I run the risk of getting kicked off of X. I run the risk of getting attacked by the Ziobots out there. That Charlie found replacement theology people interesting. But when Rob McCoy speaks, those people are demonic and horrible and awful. Well, it makes it look like you guys killed him. I mean, I'm sorry, it does. It makes it look like you guys killed Charlie, if those were his true views. If this person is speaking truthfully, and I believe this person would know. I absolutely believe this person would know these issues. And that we should be able to criticize and ask questions about the government of Israel without people being harassed. Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty mainstream position these days, guys. You shouldn't attack us over that. Your former leader, the guy you claim as a martyr, that was his position too. You know, Charlie sounds more and more like a member of the jury every day. Charlie sounds more and more like he could have been a member of the show. Like he'd be paying his $9.99 a month to support the program because it has views consistent with his own. To learn that there are people inside of TPUSA who believe there were others involved and that Tyler Robinson may not have pulled the trigger? Yeah. And that's kind of the consensus view, is that other people were involved? Guys, we have been redeemed. Not only have we been redeemed, everything these guys say is full of bull butter. They're liars. They're liars, starting at the top. Now, maybe they shield Erica from this. Maybe she doesn't know because they don't trust her. I don't know. I have a hard time believing she doesn't know that. That her own employees think this way. Her top executives, even in some instances, think this way. I have a hard time believing she doesn't know that. But the rest of them, Blake Sneff, Andrew Kolvet, Tyler Boyer, all the people over at TPUSA Faith, all the people at TPUSA Education. It's shocking to me. This was all very shocking to me. The final thing I learned, it's something we all knew, I think we all suspected, but it was uttered as a statement of fact, and that is all those beautiful tweets that Charlie wrote that we all fell in love with. Even those of us that didn't particularly care for Charlie's politics, we all followed him on. We liked his social media. Guy could get you fired up, right? When he talked about a political issue, you wanted to run through a brick wall. Well, guess what? Those weren't his thoughts. They weren't his thoughts. They weren't written by him. That Andrew Kolvet put up all the social media posts that everyone loved. That is right out of the words of a TPUSA executive. That Andrew Kolvet was writing the social media posts that everyone loved, or a big percentage of them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you think that stopped when Charlie died? You think they handed the keyboard over to Erica Kirk and said, you know what? Charlie, who would go out and debate people off the top of his head for hours at a time, dozens of days a year. Charlie, who would go out and do battle with some of the smartest kids on the smartest college campuses in America. We ran his account just to make sure it was top notch and everything was said exactly right. But you, Erica, who've never really held a job before, who's never debated anyone that we can find, period, who answers word salads and just says weird stuff. Here you go, girl. You run your own social media account. The keyboard's yours. You have it. We're not going to put words in your mouth. I know we did that for Charlie, and Charlie was more than capable of writing his own tweets, but we think we'll let you have it from here. No, friends. No. There's a 0% chance that's true. I think it's deeply dishonest. I write my own tweets. I know there are people who don't write their own tweets, but generally speaking, the people who don't write their own tweets, they're writing about things like, oh, I got an upcoming show next Tuesday at 5 p.m. and they've outsourced that to some group that makes sure the fan, like, you know, I follow a lot of comedians on X. I follow, social media. They probably don't write their own promo tweets. They probably don't go find the right video to put up and edit it down. That's probably a team. But who wrote the Father's Day tweet today? Was that you, Erica? Or was that also Andrew? Because that's weird. That's weird. Who's writing any of your stuff? Is that all, Andrew? Because I can go back and look in the past and look how you used to write stuff before you met Charlie. I mean, granted, we're not talking about fish sandwiches anymore. That's good. That's good. We've improved quite a bit. All curves, all that body has a bunch of curves and I have no brakes. We don't write that anymore, and that's good. That's a good thing. But you can see from the way words are written, from the syntax, from the pacing, there's a voice that comes through, and that ain't your voice. That's Andrew Kolvet's voice in a lot of these tweets. Maybe Blake, maybe. It's an interesting set of facts. It was an interesting set of facts coming from an interesting source, coming from an interesting TPUSA executive who would know all this stuff. And I think it so totally undermines everything TPUSA is doing and saying right now that they're the biggest lying bunch of frauds I've ever encountered. These are the lyingest, low-downest, dirtiest, nastiest, rotten group of people who've ever assembled. And it's no wonder their leader's dead. It's no wonder that guy's dead after being around those people. They're just dishonest, disgusting people. I'm sorry, they just are. They just are. I wish they weren't, because they have the potential to do so much good. I feel like their former leader was doing a lot of good. I feel like Charlie was doing a lot of good before he met a lot of these people. Before he met a lot of these people, I feel like he was doing a lot of good. Then he met these liars. And we know lying comes easy to Andrew Kolvet. We have evidence of that. We have evidence of that. I'll play it for you. I know you guys have probably seen this clip. If you haven't, be happy to show you that Andrew's first instinct often is to lie. He appears to be a dishonest person. Here's an example.
He works with. Yeah. I have a story like this too, and I'm ashamed that I am the villain in this story. Basically, it was 2 weeks before he died, and I'll never forget it. There was just some annoyance that was, in our way, and we needed to deal with something. I can't even remember what it was, and I just remember going, "Hey, we could just tell him XYZ." In translation, we could just, little white lie and it'll go away. They'll understand. And I remember seeing the dots. He was typing right away. Right away. We don't lie. It was a private message with me.
I love that.
And it wasn't, you don't lie. It's not, I don't lie. It was, Andrew, we here on the show in this turning point, we don't lie.
Well, but they do. That's the scandal. They do. They do. That might have been Charlie's instinct that they don't lie. That might have been his wish that they don't lie. Did you hear, by the way, I'll back it up. Did you hear Blake Sneff cackle when he talked about the lying? Did you hear the cackle? Andrew tells a story where he says, I want to manipulate people. I don't want to be honest with them. I want to lie to them to mollify them. I think I'm smarter than they are. Tall, dark, and handsome though I am. Him, not me. I'm smart enough. I can pull a fast one on them. I can shovel them a little bull butter and they'll buy it. And while he's saying that, Blake lets out the biggest cackle, the most maniacal sounding cackle. It was so bad, I immediately looked around the room to see if I had a straitjacket to take to him.
He was typing right away. Right.
Sound like a macaw. Golly, Blake. That's your reaction to this confession hour?
I remember seeing the dots. He was typing right away. God, it's no wonder he's dead. No wonder he's dead. Absolutely no wonder. Hold on, I gotta make a request. All right,
let me, now that we've established Andrew's first instinct is to lie, now that we've established that TPUSA has lied about all of these issues, Charlie's Zionism, Charlie's dispensationalism, Charlie's criticism of our greatest ally, whether or not they turned over the camera footage to the feds. What does it mean to turn it over? Does it mean just allow them to come into the Beverly Road headquarters whenever they want and get a look at it? Or does that mean like put it on a disc and hand it to them? I mean, what does it mean by this? Whether or not they believe Tyler Robinson did it, whether or not they believe Tyler Robinson did it alone if he did it. Now that we know they lie about all of it, and now that we've remembered that Andrew Kolvet's first instinct often is to lie, I'll give you another example of when he lied. You remember the picture he sent to Gary? Oh, she was with her kids. Promise. Swear. Here's a picture of her with you. Don't share it, Gary. Well, had Gary not shared it, we would all believe that Gary was looking at a picture with his kid. Why would Gary lie about that? I mean, honestly, he's not my best friend, but I don't think he would lie. I think if he saw a picture, he would tell people, yeah, I saw a picture. It looked like her kids. I don't know. Maybe she was. But he showed the picture and everybody looked at me like, nope, those are teenagers. That's not a 1 and 3-year-old or whatever old they are. That boy has a mustache. He just drank a 6-pack and drove over here, Gary. That's not her girl either. Allegedly. But let's go back to other people who at the time did not believe the official narrative. Other people who at the time did not believe the official narrative relative to the Fed slop, relative to Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk with a 30-06 from the Losi Center. Here is Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon on the Spicy Show. Sean Spicy.
Charlie. And we talk about the FBI. So this kind of made me start to combine these two. Candace Owens has been out there saying that she's the only one fighting to discover the truth and trying to poke some holes in this official story that she says has a problem. She says that the letter to the furry boyfriend that was sent by the shooter was fake. She says that the FBI is trying to sell a narrative. She said that Tyler Robinson showing up at Dairy Queen just after Asher's makes it look like he wasn't ever stepping foot on campus, that the gun is in question. What do you think of these allegations?
I don't believe anything about the official narrative they're putting out there until we see evidence of exactly what went on. And Candace, I think, is much more right about some of the things she's pointing out. I mean, I remember she doesn't have access to the investigation. I'll say this, in the War Room Posse, I don't think that there's a viewer of our show, and I mean one, that believes the official narrative right now. Everybody's from Missouri here. We have to get, and this is why, give Cash and Dan enough time, but we're going to have to see this in depth. No.
Just in case you were wondering, they've released absolutely nothing new since then. They've released nothing new since then. So Bannon didn't believe it at the time. Why on earth would he believe it now? They've added nothing new to the stockpile. There's no reason why you would believe it now if you didn't believe it then. That was several months ago, but still. In other words, we're not holding a weird position on this show. Candace isn't holding a weird position on her show. Steve is not holding a weird position on his show. Tucker's not holding a weird position on his show. The official narrative doesn't add up. It does not add up. It doesn't make sense. And TPUSA doesn't believe it either. Not the general consensus inside of TPUSA. Not the general consensus inside of TPUSA. Now, I got to get back. I got to get to this story with that Allie Top Files found. She does good work. If you don't follow her, she's a good follow. This is a tweet that Candace picked up on, amplified it, gave it a little coverage here. This is Allie Top Files. Candace doesn't have receipts. She's going to go bankrupt. Here we go. Pastor Exodus takeover. Care for the widow. I think Erica is good. Please share to Real Candace O. Real Candace O picks it up and says, there's no way he's dumb enough to believe I am making $800,000 a week on YouTube. Not even girl math could come up with a number that obtuse. These pastors lie like they breathe, and it's the very reason why so many are exiting these fake churches. I will say, if she is making $800,000 a week, your humble host is doing something very wrong. Because her audience isn't that much bigger than what we have. And we're not making $800,000 a week here either. So, but let me play this video. This is wild. Rob McCoy decided to get back in the ring, probably, if I had to guess, because his son's under attack a little bit. Under attack because he sent a message to Candace Owens saying that Andrew Kolvet needed to be looked into more, indicating he may not believe the official narrative exactly. But he comes out, he doesn't just come out, he comes out swinging.
Candace doesn't have any receipts, and it's a carnal Christian soap opera, and you're suckered into it. She's making $800,000 a week, and you're attacking a widow.
Just a little back of the envelope math. $800,000 a week is $40 million a year. That's a lot on a podcast. I'll just be honest. It's a lot on a podcast. I think Charlie might have been making near about that much, but I don't think he was making it all off his podcast. I don't know where he pulled that number out of his rear end.
On innuendo, supposition, vain speculation, and it's shameful when you should be caring for a widow.
Yes.
I don't understand it. She's going to go bankrupt. This next one with Charlie's chief of security, Brian, she's done.
She's going to go bankrupt. Now, on the one hand, she's making $40 million a year. But on the other hand, she's teetering, guys. She's barely hanging on out there. Gonna go bankrupt. A single lawsuit is going to wipe her out. All $40 million a year of it. I don't know if he even notices what he said there, but that's what he said.
But here's the thing. We ended the Salem witch trials in 1692 in America. And it was a minister who ended them. His name was Increase Mather.
To begin with, that's a dope name. Increase Mather, are you kidding me? I feel so robbed by my parents' choice of Baron Coleman. Increase? Come on. I would like to be called Increase henceforth. Baron Increase Coleman.
And they had murdered 19 people. And you know why they did it? They had spectral evidence. You know what spectral evidence is? I had a dream. Charlie spoke to me.
This is the number one way you know somebody is intentionally misleading the audience. This is that, in my opinion, you know, I try to create guideposts and landmarks in my mind, just litmus tests, easy yay, nay, on-off switches. When someone says that the only thing Candace has is dreams when Charlie spoke to her, and that is why Candace says X, Y, and Z. When they say that, I immediately move that person's marker into a column totally full of bull butter. That is, I just end it there. I don't want to hear it. There's not a single person on this planet who hasn't had a dream that they believe was someone talking to them. Now, if that's all you had, you know, if I dreamed that my grandma came to me and my grandma was like, you know, I know it looked like I died of emphysema and lung cancer in a hospital bed in Hancock Memorial Hospital. I know that's what it looks like. But that's not what happened, Baron. I was, in fact, brutally attacked. I was on the north side of Indianapolis at the Target. And as I was walking out of the Target, I was jumped by a gang of hoodlums. and these hoodlums beat me senseless and I died. I need you to investigate it. If I said, wow, kind of flies in the face of all the evidence, my mom was there with you as you were passing. My uncle was there with you my aunt was there with you as you were passing. You got doctor's notes and orders and tests. But grandma did tell me in a dream, like if that's all I had, then yes, make fun of me. Stand on the stage. Joke about it. Lay into me. Let me have it. That's not the nature of what's happened the last 9 months with Candace. It's just not. You know why we know about the text messages from the night before Charlie died that says I'm left with no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause? Because Candace found them. You know why we know that Tyler Robinson allegedly was at a Dairy Queen at 5:30 or 6:30 p.m.? Because Candace found it. There are so many different things that have come out in this investigation, threads we've all been pulling on. We can illuminate, we can investigate further, but we run down the path because she came up with the evidence. And to sit back and act like she's just making stuff up based on a single dream she had where Charlie said something to her is just brutally dishonest. Boop, I just move you, fat boy, right over into the column with the other fat boys. You go right there under Blake Sniff. You just whoop, 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 moved him right over.
Sound familiar? Hello? Some of you don't want to nod because you've been watching that garbage.
That's what I want to do. I want to go to church where the preacher tells me I watch garbage because he doesn't agree with it.
I had a dream. Spectral evidence was outlawed because the scripture said 2 or 3 witnesses. 2 or 3 witnesses.
What about photographic evidence of Tyler Robinson at Dairy Queen? Do we have 2 or 3 witnesses that Tyler Robinson wrote the confession note? Do we? Do we have 2 or 3 witnesses that Tyler Robinson wrote any of those texts? Do we? No. We don't. Because you guys aren't offering a forensics examination of the phone. You're just taking a picture of Lance's phone, and anybody could have drafted those texts. They might not even be him. He might have changed somebody else's contact to say Tyler Robinson. He might be holding 2 phones. He might have gone to Boost Mobile and gotten a phone, changed the contact to Tyler Robinson, had his own phone in this hand, and just did it back and forth, and then took up that. I mean, it could be. That's not 2 or 3 witnesses. It's the double standard of you must believe Tyler Robinson acted alone. Now, we here at TPUSA, we're an educated bunch. We're able to simultaneously entertain the notion, guys, that it might not have been Tyler Robinson alone. And we can do that because we're executives at TPUSA. We're better than you. We're above you. We've talked to the President of the United States. We control voting in utility elections outside of Phoenix. We're important. You're scum. It's very cult-like behavior. Very cult-like behavior. All right. Did you know that Mikey once again saved the day? Mikey's back. Mikey is back indeed. I don't know that this is the right timestamp, Daisy. I have 3042 is where I picked it up. I'm going to play it from there, but I don't know that that's accurate. In fact, I know it's, it might be. I'll play it from. I don't think it is, though. But we're going to find out. Here we go. Let's pick it up and see what he has to say. If we got to back it up a little bit, we will.
Jihadist cartel crossing the border into Texas and going to the University of Texas during a
yeah, no, this is we're a little behind. We're a little ahead here. He goes 2950 or something like that. if I'm not mistaken.
If you feed a pig broccoli, it turns it into bacon. That's a perfect animal.
Nah, it's even back further than that, right? 2850 maybe. I remember it was 50 something.
Good life.
Yeah, it's 2840, I think. 2842, sorry.
Yep, 2842. Got it. Thank you. All right.
It. Judge, jury, and you know who the executioner is? It can be one of 100 people who've threatened my life or my son's life or Erica's life. My son was there when Charlie was murdered, and now he was at the Hilton in DC and had to get Erica out as another gunman came in. You want to be a part of that? Look, no one's perfect, but this is ridiculous. Yes, it is. Turn it off.
Who's that talking in the background? Yes, it is. I don't know if that went out over the air, but when he said, you want to be part of that's ridiculous. So, yes, it is.
Go read a book. Educate yourself.
Come on, brother. Oh, man, I got to go to a church like this. I didn't know you were allowed to talk in church. A priest is talking. We don't just interrupt him and start hollering. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I'm all right with it. Like, this is dope. Yes, it is. Go on, brother. Preach.
And then let's attack Jews. 15 million Jews worldwide. 15 million. 7.5 million live in Israel. The next largest amount is here in the United States, and the rest are scattered throughout Europe and leaving because the persecution is so heavy. We play a game today called 6 Degrees of Separation to blame a Jew for anything. You're like me picking on that kid in the 2nd grade. You found somebody that's easy to pick on, and Jews are easy to pick on. They're peculiar people. I don't get it. They don't like bacon. I don't know why.
An admittedly weird statement from a preacher who has access to the entire Old Testament, where it tells them not to eat bacon or pork at all. It was a weird line. I don't know why he fired it out there, but he did. So apparently Mikey is now a hero again, ladies and gentlemen. Mikey is back in the arena. Mikey's back in the arena. Mikey was gone for a while, but Rob is here to let us know he's not gone at all. He's out there saving the day. He's out there doing everything he needs to do. I want to open real quickly. I just got to run through this. I want to show you the bio of the chief medical examiner who did the medical examination in Butler, Pennsylvania on the dead guys. Because there's something similar to this guy that we had in Utah. Namely, he was just appointed right before this all happened. It's a habit. There's a habit that happens in these high-profile events. It's almost as if high-profile events involving major political figures, involving assassinations and assassination attempts, only happen in jurisdictions where the chief medical examiner is appointed just before it happened. I want to pull up the chief medical examiner here who examined the body, Dr. Ariel Goldschmidt. Began his career as a forensic pathologist, St. Louis, 2008. April 2024, he was named the chief medical examiner for Allegheny County. Yeah. He has some background here. He's performed post-mortem examinations on many victims of gang violence. Under the direction of his Department of Health, he sharpened the state's response to the opioid crisis. In 2023, Dr. Goldschmidt was asked to join a volunteer team of U.S. forensic pathologists to Israel to assess the mass identification of casualties of October 7. So he's new. This is something that happens frequently in this case, or these cases. The guy's new. He actually testified before Congress. If you're wondering why a guy from Allegheny County, which is Pittsburgh, was doing you're wondering if he did the investigations into Crooks and Corey Contemporary, or whatever his name is, Comparatori. If you're wondering if he did it, we have evidence he did. We have his testimony, his opening statement here. I'm Dr. Ariel Goldschmidt, Chief Medical Examiner for Allegheny County. July 13, 2024, after the attempted assassination of former President Donald J. Trump, I, through my staff, reached out to the Butler County Coroner, Bill Young, to offer our assistance if needed. Well, wasn't that convenient? Later that night, our assistance was accepted and arrangements were made to transport the bodies of Thomas Crooks and victim Corey Comparatori to our office. Our office was not involved in the transportation of the decedents. However, once they were transported to our office, the required chain of custody paperwork was processed. Next morning, he began Mr. Crook's autopsy, and then also did comparatory there. So it's a weird coincidence. A weird coincidence, in case you're wondering. I don't know why this would even matter, but in case you're wondering, he is a dual citizen. He's a citizen of the United States and Israel. I don't know that it matters. I'm not suggesting it matters. But like Charlie Kirk, I'm allowed to ask questions. That's my position. I'm allowed to ask questions. Like, did it bear any effect whatsoever on the outcome of the investigation? All right, finally, just a little weird piece here. We've got an interesting clip. I actually watched this whole podcast the other day. Got Charlie Kirk with Allie Beth Stuffy, proving that her need for Sudafed goes back in time. This, I think, was 2019. This is an older podcast. But is Charlie Kirk maybe laying some criticism at the feet of his widow?
For, in the education system and media. But Allie, I'm going to kind of just say a lot of students, I think they want to change the world. I think they want to do what's right. A lot of students, I think most students do, at least the ones in politics. And the ones on the left, they've been told the best way that they can change the world is by giving government all this power and giving government all this authority over everyone, other people's lives. And first of all, that's just not true, but it's also just not logical when you think about it. And it's also not correct in the sense that the best way to improve anything is to first improve yourself, is to act more ethically, act more honestly, do the correct things. I fall short of this. Everyone does, right?
Yeah.
We as Christians believe you're always going to fall short of it. But you also believe you can be a better person over time. And if you do that, you'll actually make the world a better place. But it's so easy, Allie, it's so easy to sell utopianism to a generation that doesn't know any different, but also wants to change the world. And so I'm careful not to do this whole our generation is so stupid type thing. I don't think that does us any good.
Yeah.
I think these students are misinformed, but that's different. I think a lot of students mean well. I think they really think they're on the right side of history when they're arguing for socialism, or they found some new idea. Well, it's not, you didn't find anything. First of all. Not any sort of, you didn't discover plutonium. Okay. But if I can connect with them, I say, listen, you want to make the world a better place. Believe it or not, I actually want to make the world a better place too. So they attack my motives immediately, right? I'm a horrible person. I want polluting. I want billionaires running around with machine guns in gated communities, and they only go to private schools. All these ridiculous stereotypes, right? They fly private jets to work. Right?
They fly private jets to work. He at least recognized that people don't like that. Like when you fly private jets everywhere you go, people don't like that. People don't like that. It makes you look out of touch. It makes you look like the billionaires that these people are complaining about. I hate that Charlie became a person who only flew in private jets. I hate that his wife flies in a private jet about as often as I drive a car. I don't leave my house very often, especially now that I work out at home most of the time. I rarely leave my house anymore. I bet you there are weeks now where she flies on a private jet at a cost of 6 figures or more than I start my truck. More often than I start the truck. Over the course of a week, I bet she takes more legs of a private flight that costs a minimum of $50,000 than I actually go out there and turn the car over. If I learned anything putting this show together today, it's that, guys, we are so much more right than we realize. We're complaining about the private jets. For feeling like we have this right to have our own religious beliefs and speak out about them. And that while the inheritors of Charlie's legacy, or the people who claim to have inherited Charlie's legacy, try to tell us that any criticism of our greatest ally is somehow a sin, Charlie didn't believe that at all. He recognized the difference between geographic, ethnic, and political Israel. He said we should be able to ask questions about their government without people being harassed. Well, that died with Charlie in that organization. We are allowed to ask questions about who killed Charlie Kirk, how and why, and who all was involved, and were there more people involved than Tyler Robinson. They will gaslight you into believing if you don't accept that Tyler Robinson did it and did it alone, that you're somehow some awful person who's demonic, while they hold that same position. That is so deeply dishonest. It's so fundamentally disgusting. And that they even have people in their midst who believe in the conspiracy theories. They have people in their midst who believe Tyler didn't pull the trigger, but he may have had something to do with it. And that we're not alone. We're not alone. I want to play one final clip here. This is Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson is I don't know if he still is, a TPUSA contributor. This is him the day after Charlie Kirk passed away, talking about what he believed was just common sense, common logic about the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
I want to begin by saying that I'm very, very close with Charlie and his team. And here is the thing here's what I wish to relay to you from them. That there is...
From them. This is what I wish to relay to you from them, meaning Charlie and his team, or from his team, since Charlie's no longer with us.
Some considerable evidence that there were state actors involved here.
There is considerable evidence that there are state actors involved here. Considerable evidence, not a dream, not spectral evidence, Professor McCoy. Not a dream, not spectral evidence, not hallucination, not conspiracy theory. What I want to relay to you, says Benny Johnson, from his team, is that there is considerable evidence there are state actors involved.
Here's what I wish to relay to you from them. That there is some considerable evidence that there were state actors involved here. That's it.
That's it. So why are we the bad guys? Why are we the bad guys? I think this is one of the more important shows we've done in 9 months. Not because it defends us, not because it exonerates us, not because it's all exculpatory evidence that we're not out of our minds. That would be a good enough reason for this to be a great show. No. I think it's a great show because it exposes these scumbags for what they are. They're lying sacks of bull butter. Period. End of story. And there's no way around it. They're deeply dishonest human beings. And they've adopted their new position that there is no considerable evidence of state actors. That's a new position. That's not their original position. What happened to the considerable evidence? Where did it go? This was before Tyler Robinson turned himself in, I believe. Let me check the date on that, but I think that's before Tyler Robinson turned himself in. Let me double check the date. Yeah, that was the afternoon of September 11th. Tyler Robinson didn't turn himself in until that night. So at least on the afternoon of September 11th, the very next day, there was considerable evidence that there were state actors involved. Considerable. Where did it go? What happened to it? Why did it change? Is it because of who the state actors turned out to be? And it scared you a little bit, Benny? Or maybe you are rooting for those state actors and realized you, because of your commitment to them, Charlie had to go. I'm telling you guys, we're not the bad guys here. They are. They're the bad guys. They're the bad guys. Because everything we believe, they believe. Or did. Maybe they won't admit they still believe it, but back then they used to admit it. Back then they would admit Charlie wasn't a Zionist. He wasn't a dispensationalist. That he was, I don't remember what the word was, fascinated by or turned on by, or I don't remember what it was. These replacement theology people. He thought there was merit to what they had to say. That he felt like you could criticize the government of our greatest ally, and that was okay. It's a conversation that we're allowed to have. That there was considerable evidence that there were state actors involved. That was something he wanted to relay from Charlie's team. That Steve Bannon said, I don't believe this story. I don't know anyone who believes the story. That TPUSA executives say, the general consensus is that Tyler did not act alone and may not have even pulled the trigger. They'll say all this privately. They'll say all this to each other. But publicly, Candace is the enemy. Publicly, your humble host is the enemy. They're going to send their little henchmen out. That's why they don't do it directly. That's why they don't do it directly. I think it's one of the more consequential shows we've done in 9 months. Again, not because we found some inside scoop. No, that's not consequential. That, in my opinion, it's not consequential. The consequential part is these guys are liars. These guys lie to your face day in and day out. They are dishonest actors. And I challenge you guys, tell me that what I reported today was inaccurate. I will be happy to smash you over the head with the truth. You don't want me to, I promise. You should just accept it and move on. Just like when I gave Blake Neff opportunity to come out on his own terms and explain that he used to work for Stu Peters for a long time. He didn't do it, so I had to do it. So I had to do it on my terms. I think Stu's done a lot of really good work over the years. A lot of really good work. I haven't watched everything he's done. He's not watched everything I've done. I've not watched everything Candace has done. I've not watched everything Tucker's done. I mean, it's just impossible. You guys probably have not watched everything I've done. It's impossible to watch everything, so I cannot comment on somebody's totality of their body of work. I think Stu's done a lot of really good work. Did good work on COVID, did good work on Charlie Kirk. He clocked Erica Kirk long before a lot of people did. I gave Blake an opportunity. You should come out and explain this. And I'll give them the same opportunity. They should just come out and accept this. They should just come out and say, yeah, you're right. We here at TPUSA don't believe Tyler Robinson. The general consensus is that Tyler Robinson did not act alone. The general consensus is that Charlie Kirk was not a Zionist or dispensationalist in any fashion. That's true. The general consensus was that Charlie Kirk said you should be able to criticize the governments of foreign countries without consequence. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. The general consensus is that at least on the day after it happened, that there was considerable evidence that foreign actors were involved or state actors were involved. Maybe they were American state actors, but state actors, not Tyler Robinson. He's not a state actor. He's a weird kid from St. George. These guys will lie to you about anything. Because ultimately, it's not about what they say it's about. The TPUSA is not about getting people elected. If it was, they wouldn't be going through all this. TPUSA is not about getting people elected. That's not why they're raising hundreds of millions of dollars. TPUSA is not even about flying around the country in private jets. That's kind of tangential to it. That's just a side effect. That's a benefit. And I don't think that's what TPUSA is about either. TPUSA is not about converting people to Christ. It's not about taking the message of economic libertarianism to college campuses. That's not what TPUSA is about. Maybe at one time it was, but it's not. TPUSA has evolved. It's become something entirely different. And it's that entirely different TPUSA, the TPUSA 2.0 that Erica Kirk bragged about. Not to say everything you worked on when Charlie was here was a waste of time, but he's dead. Not to be morbid, but my husband's dead. This is TPUSA 2.0, and we're going to be working on some new stuff. That's why it's consequential. Because these guys are liars. And anyone who puts their faith in these people and thinks they won't stab you in the back, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. An organization who will act like this after their founder was slaughtered in broad daylight, and that they believe there were state actors involved, and that they believe there were other people involved, yet they will gaslight the public to tell you, oh, there's no state actors involved. Oh, no, dispensationalism is great. Oh, Zionism is great. And they will gaslight you into believing that they are full believers in the Fed slop narrative and that Tyler Robinson did it and he acted alone and he needs to be put to death for this. And that the investigation needs to stop and anybody looking into it needs to stop. And we don't need to find other people. There are no other people. Anyone who will gaslight you about this, I'm talking to you hangers on X that make a career out of this, like make $50 every 2 weeks on X, posting about this, or think it's going to somehow give you access to Tracy or give you access to Gary or give you access to these people, Gary, they will stab you in the back. Not Gary will stab you in the back. They'll stab Gary in the back when they're done with him. Their founder was shot in the neck or had something go through his neck and died. And they lie about it. They lie about the consequences of it. They lie about the investigation. They lie about what he believed. They lie about all of it. You think you matter? You with 3,459 Twitter followers, you think they care about you? I think TPUSA should be dismantled. I do. I don't think what they do is good. I think it's bad. I think what they used to do is good. I think now what they do is bad. But that's a different discussion for a different day. Appreciate you joining. If you've not liked the show, don't hit the like button. If you have, find a way to hit the like button. Don't be that way. Join 8,479 of your closest friends and hit the like button. That means there's like 14,000 of you watching live right now who have not hit the like button. Tighten up. Tighten up, people. Tighten up. I will be back tomorrow. Not sure exactly what time, but we will be back tomorrow. For the member show, I don't know if it'll be Tuesday or Friday this week. We had a lot of fun on the member show Friday. We took a lot of polls, had a real family conversation. That was a lot of fun. If you were around for that, that was great. Thank you guys for joining. If you were not around, go check it. We ended up going 4.5 hours, much to the chagrin of Mrs. Coleman. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't care. She didn't say a word about it. But no, it was a lot of fun. So if you're a member and have not watched that, go check that out. That was a fun show. That was a fun show. All right, let me roll through some of your comments. Don't forget to check out the new merch at realbaronpodcast.com. I attended my first ever mass today. My wife asked what I wanted to do, and I told her for our whole family to go. Thank you, RBP fam, for inspiring me to do what I was blown away to do that. I was blown away by the reverence for our Lord. You picked a good day, too. The readings today were especially good, I thought. The lectionary sometimes lends itself to more exciting readings than others. I thought today were great. If you have not looked at the readings for today, they were really quite good. Thank you for sharing that with us, though, and happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to the 8-time Papa and 1-time Grandpa, looking to be 40-time Grandpa. Yeah. I've got some patience about it, though. I'm not looking to be that next week. Not next week, but I want to do it while I'm still with it mentally. Don't want to wait 60 years. DF's signal equals anti-Semitic snake quenelle. I don't know what that means. Happy Father's Day. Praying that God will hold Jeff's wife and children in the palm of his hand today to help get through it. Missing my dad. Celebrating my hubby, father of 6, and my son that gave me my first grandbaby last year. Mikey Mike on the mic. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to you. Why specifically that day in that event did CK? I don't know. I mean, it had to be somewhere. I mean, if you believe the official narrative, it's because that's where Tyler Robinson had access to him. I obviously don't believe that, but if you believe there were others involved, I mean, it was the perfect opportunity. Look at that facility. It's like an assassination zone in there. They all thought it. Blake Neff, his first day after, on the very next day, he was like, he had a terrible feeling in his stomach. It was all, it was roofs, and Frank Turek said he was worried by the roofs. And I mean, but they all trotted him out there. He'll be fine. The velvet sultry tones of my humble host. How did you know that it is what I follow? How did you know it's what I fall asleep to sometimes? Haha, your words, not mine. Well, I fall asleep to a lot of podcasts. I don't want to say most nights, but a lot of nights. More than one night a week, I fall asleep to a podcast. And because I put it in my ears, and I'm like, oh, I'm not that tired. I'll take the headphones out when I get a little tired. And the next thing I know, it's like 4 a.m. and it's auto played to like 6 other podcasts. I went back and watched BH interview with SR, and BH said he used to be a cop in affiliation with the county the Fold AR was stolen. No, that was stolen in Midland, Texas. I don't believe that's where he was. But you know who lives, I believe, in Midland, Texas, or at least has a presence there, is Brad Parscale from Salem Media, from Clock Tower X, registered for an agent of our greatest ally. Happy Father's Day to all truth-seeking dads. Christ is king indeed. Thank you, Garrison. Happy Father's Day, Baron, and to Jeff in heaven. Yeah, this is a tough week for them because I think their anniversary, his birthday, Father's Day, and obviously he passed all within like 2 weeks of each other or something. Very, very tough couple of weeks ahead. They just got back, not yesterday, but the day before. So I think Friday night they got back in town. So happy Father's Day, Granddad. Day, Baron. Things are getting crazier by the day, allegedly, perhaps, in my humble opinion. Keep going, Max, Christ is king. I'll do my best. Someone got onto me for saying Maximo instead of Mahimo the other day. And it's not go Ma, it's go Max. Maximo. I had to add the X for poetic flair. Bring in the grand jury. It's time for our humble host. Happy Father's Day. Yes. Assemble. Gather around. Hubby and Detox. This was day 10. He just started eating on his own yesterday, but is not able to walk yet. Happy to have donated to your beautiful friend. You must be so proud. $278,000. That is correct. And congratulations to your husband. What a wonderful commitment he is making to you and your family and his own self, his own life. What an amazing, amazing commitment. You should be very, very proud and supportive of him. Christ is king indeed. Hey, B, first chat here. Happy Father's Day. Wishing all the dads a blessed day. My heart goes out to the dads with their babies in heaven, praying for all the grieving parents. Our baby girl left this world. Oh, gosh. I didn't even think about that. I know Mother's Day and Father's Day can be hard on people. I know it can be hard on people, but I didn't even think about it the other way. I know people that have lost their parents, for example. What a tough day on that. Hang on, I thought Gary said you were a grifter. How does everyone here have such a high IQ? Yeah, that's what people say when they're out of arguments. When they can't address the merits of the arguments, they go with grifter. Baron, did I hear you say you don't believe in the Southern Hemisphere last episode? We'd love to hear your thoughts. That doesn't exist. That's not real, is it? Why would it be winter? I mean, think about it. Today is the longest day of the solar calendar. It's not the shortest day of the solar calendar. You'd have to be in like, it doesn't exist. It's not, it's fake. I've never been there, so it's not real. I don't think I've ever been to the Southern Hemisphere. No, I'm not. How could something be real I've never been to? Fake. High IQ outfit, high quality mugs, shirts, and caps. Well done. Thank you, B, Nurse Casey, and Shop. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, we do some high quality merch. There's no doubt about it. And we try to keep the price as low as they'll let us. I can't stop drinking Fiji, my B. Happy Sunday. Same problem, Mir. Same problem. It's just tasty. For the money, it's very tasty. I did go out and buy some of that goat water. Somebody donated some money and said, go buy a case of goat water. And I did, that mountain spring water or mountain water, whatever it's called. Got to be very cautious with it, though. Stuff's like $5 a bottle. I've drank wine that's cheaper than that. Not recently. Bear and I have a JE file that's of a recruiter phone call between a child and someone who sounds like EK. Yeah, that's not her. We've already settled that. Happy Father's Day, B, and all the fathers out there. Agreed. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Told you we could hit 200,000 Bear Nights Rock. Yeah, Moon Goddess, but you'll notice I did not shave the beard. Someone said if it hits 2,000, shave the beard. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Oh, and happy Father's Day, of course. Lucky kiddos. I love my kids. I'm ugly crying for your friend's wife and kids. Thanks, Baron. God will remember what you did. Christ is king. He'll remember what you guys did. All I did was let you know about it. You guys came through. I mean, the Coleman family threw in a small chunk, and you guys all threw in a small chunk, and together it makes a very big chunk, and it bought her space to grieve. Time to just be sad. What a blessing in darkness. Yeah. More than the loss of your theme song, longer than Eric and Charlie. Yeah, that was a tough day. Second show in a row I've cried praying for that sweet family. You know, I read that note like 6 times so that I could get through it on air without tearing up. I had to read it enough to where I knew that I would not break down reading it, because the first time was tough to get through. I didn't want to start a show off snotting around. This is my 10th year without my dad on Father's Day. It feels very fitting to be able to donate to your friend's GoFundMe. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Baron. May God bless you, your family, and his family. Thank you. Baron, I wanted you to see this if you haven't yet. We own car hauling businesses, and if there's a car that needs to be moved to Tennessee, let me know. Oh, Christ is king indeed. No, there's not, because they lived here. They just flew out there. They didn't drive. So they flew back. But thank you. Happy Father's Day. That's a very kind offer. I felt every word of that beautiful thank you message. Our family's community has more than blessed my daughter and grandsons in their deep pain. May God bless your friends, dear family. Yeah, what you guys, not me, what you guys did for that family, allowing them the space to just spend some time together so that the kids can ask the mom the questions that they had to ask, so that they can just jump up in the bed with her and cry if they need to, or just hug or whatever, instead of her having to get up and jump in the shower and head to work because, otherwise the power gets cut off, or you can't pay the water bill, or, you guys have given her space, given her time. And it's unbelievable blessing. Friend of our B is a friend of the jury. Happy we could come to support a true grieving widow. May the family feel God's arm wrapped around them. I hope they do feel that. Thank you for that. Happy Father's Day to you and the fathers of the RBP fam. I wanted to contribute to your friends' GoFundMe. I didn't get a chance the other day. Can you post the link again in the description? Sure. Let me do that now or I'll forget. I can drop that in real fast. It'll be kind of ugly posted in there for now. I'll pretty it up after the show. It's just going to be a random link in there right now. But it's in there now. Like I said, it'll pretty up before I post the show after we end the live. I'm inspired by what you guys did for Jeff's family. Happy Father's Day, gentlemen. Danny, I am too. I am, frankly, I'm shocked. You guys so exceeded my expectations. I mean, I honestly, if you'd have told me, give me what you think will happen, and like I said, I thought 5 to 10 was pretty solid. There's an outside chance we might throw in like 12 or 15. I would have thought a very high end would have been like 20. Like that would have been, I mean, it still would have been a huge blessing. Like blow the doors off the family. I don't even have words for this. I honestly don't have words for it. Hey, Baron, I missed your last show due to family visiting from out of town, but I'm back. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, I had some conversations with a lot of podcasters the last few days about, what summers are like and around holidays, how audiences miss and then they struggle to catch up. And, should you take a show off each week, let everybody get a chance to catch up? So these conversations have been had. Didn't Hinckley do it to impress Jodie Foster? Maybe. I mean, that's the rumor. That's the story. They also told us Tyler Robinson did it to I don't know, send a message. Or I don't know what. I don't believe anything people tell me anymore. I got to see evidence. Hi, Baron. Did you see where Father Mike Schmitz mentioned Theo Von in his homily today? More proof that the Holy Spirit is working through the content creators in this space. You guys are doing good work. No, I didn't see that. But Mrs. Coleman loves listening to Father Mike Schmidt's homilies. So she might see that, Diane Mooneyham. She might see that. Thank you for that heads up. I'll have to look at it. My coworker and I. And because Catholic homilies are a reasonable length, 5 to 10 minutes, you can listen to several of them. And it's not like it doesn't dominate your whole week trying to listen to 3 or 4 sermons. My coworker and I are your number one fans from Altoona and Eustis, Florida. May God bless you and keep you safe. Tommy and Miranda. Thank you. Love your show, Baron. Thank you for all your hard work. Happy Father's Day. I hope you didn't post that against your better judgment, as your name suggests. Oh, and happy Father's Day. Thanks for sharing part of your day with us. Christ is King indeed. Yeah, of course. I got to spend some time with the family earlier on. I spent some time with them and don't feel like we got shortcutted at all on a Father's Day. This community is something else. True blessing in every sense of the word. Sending continued prayers to Jeff's wife, his kiddos, his family and friends. Baron, you're a class act. God bless you, sir. Well, thank you for those kind words. I honestly, though, all I did was put the link up. You guys did it. We'd help your family too if you needed us. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that, because honestly, that was my biggest fear when it became obvious at the very, very end, the last few days, that this was the inevitable outcome. That was my biggest fear, and I know it was his. How are they going to be taken care of? And you guys, at least on the physical side, took care of some of that. First super chat, I love the show. Love from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd like to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been there. I went to a race there 10 years ago or so. But I'd like to go back and just visit around. I've heard it's a cool town. Baron, what about those camera sunglasses many of the security guys seem to be wearing? Where's the footage? Where's that footage stored? Could Candace get a hold of that in her lawsuit with Harple? Potentially, if they still have it. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I don't have those glasses, those Meta Ray-Bans, so I don't know where that goes and how long they store it. And is there a retention policy? Like if they delete it, does it stay on the Meta servers for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or 6 months or a year? Do they, for perpetual perhaps? I don't know. I've got a problem with those sunglasses though, because the user accepts the terms of service that say essentially we might catch something that you don't want caught on camera. You have to understand that. That's not our fault. I don't sign anything. Let's say I'm walking around in the buff and somebody busts in my door and they got their Meta glasses on. I didn't sign that terms of service. I don't walk around in the buff very often. Just using an extreme example. You can't walk around the buff when 10 people live in the house. It doesn't work. You live alone, maybe one other person. Yeah, go for it. But at 10, it doesn't work. Send the link to the donate to the family again. Yeah, if you refresh your feed, it'll be in the description. It's in the description, but you're probably going to have to refresh your feed to find it. But it's in the description of the program now. Lance is Sky Valdez. Finkel is Einhorn. I think Lance is the key. So Lance is not Sky Valdez, I don't think. I think there is someone named Sky Valdez who is not Lance. But maybe I'm wrong. I just always operated under that assumption. Finkel is Einhorn. Is that from Ace Ventura? Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. And then he starts throwing up. Yeah. Hi, Baron. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you. FYI, the judges are all crooked and take back. Well, we don't say all. I'm sure there are some crooked judges, but I don't know about all. I'm sure there's some good ones out. Question: if they overturn a conviction because of Brady violation, does that call in the double jeopardy rule? So they can't be tried twice for the same crime? It does not. No, you can retry them. Please pray for my friend. Her fiance fell down the steps, hit his head, and is brain dead. Sadly, the plug is being tomorrow. She is 3 months pregnant with her second child. That's tough. Let me say this. Don't pull the plug on me if I'm brain dead. I read, and this is not me talking about your friend, medical advice. I have no idea what your friend's scenario is, so this is not that. But I read a story the other. I read a lot of stories about death, near-death experiences and stuff. And I read a story of someone who was saying that they were brain dead, and they were in the hospital, and they were very much alive, and they were very much aware of what was going on. They just couldn't move, and they couldn't breathe, and they'd been declared brain dead, and they were going to pull the plug. And so a nurse came in and got up in this person and was like, look, I don't know what you're doing in there, but if you're in there, you've got to start trying to breathe on your own. And the person retelling stories I didn't know how to breathe on my own. I'd lost that ability. But this nurse didn't give up on him, just kept saying, hey, you've got to try. If you're in there, you have to start gasping, do something, move a muscle, do something, because they're going to kill you. And he did, and started breathing on his own. And eventually they took him off. And of course he had to relearn how to walk and had lost tremendous portions of his memory and everything else. But is quite alive. I read that story. I thought, don't pull my plug if I'm brain dead. Now, if there's something terrible, but so again, I'm not talking about your friend. That's not, you just gave me a stepping off point that reminded me of a story. Your friend might be way beyond that. I don't know. It was the other day when they were talking about our friend Jeff, and people were saying, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And I was like, well, we're past that. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Or not a thing at this point. Let's say that. But yeah, what a tragedy. And we will absolutely pray for your friend and her fiance and that beautiful child that she's carrying. Number one fan in Aiken. Oh, Aiken, home of Strom Thurmond. My father was Brady's chauffeur in the 90s. Jim came to my elementary in Nova to talk gun violence. Incredibly humorous man. I believe most of the gun activism was from Sarah. Christ is king indeed. That makes sense. Rob McCoy gives me the creepiest feelings ever. I felt it at Memorial and still feel it. Happy Father's Day, Baron, Kristen. Critter, I saw you in the comments section last night with Bays and Danks. I saw you hanging around in there. Speaking of falling asleep watching a podcast, I fell asleep watching them. I woke up as they finished. I feel like your brain knows when a podcast is ending. It's all right, get up and turn it off. And then I realized I've been asleep 45 minutes. It was a good show, though. A good show. They do a good job. That Saturday show is a lot of fun. They do. But yeah, no, Rob gives a lot of people creepy feelings. Now, but if you go back and watch Rob, go back and find a video from 2010 to 2012. I recommend everybody do it. You go back and find a Rob McCoy video from 2010, 2011, 2012. He is not creepy. He is warm. He's fuzzy. He's loving. He preaches a Jesus-centered gospel message. He preaches about God's love and love for your community and love for your neighbor and taking care of each other. He sounded great. I would love to go to a church with a guy who preached like that. But he changed. I don't think he's the same person. I don't know what happened. We can guess, but I don't know for sure. Happy Father's Day, Baron's Gasp. This is the show. The docs came in. Let's go, Max. No, those docs didn't come in. We're still waiting on those. J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy are both documented members of the Shabtai Society, Yale's secret society with unreported ties to the network, Israeli intelligence, and BJP diaspora. Will Sexton. Isn't he an F1 reporter? I think it's somebody else. I must be thinking of someone else because no search is giving it to me. I believe you. I believe you. I saw that video Ian did. It was brutal. Wow, feeling so many emotions, and it's glorious. Sorry to all who lost Jeff. The community you've cultivated gives me hope for humanity, and I feel blessed to be part of it. This is how God wins community, love, and support. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, at Mass this morning, I went to the 7 o'clock, and I was in Mass with 2 of the 6 people who went to Arizona. So there were 3 of us in there. And the last time I was in a Mass with them was at St. Bernadette in Scottsdale, Saturday night there before he passed next day. But yeah, that's it was tough. It's tough. Christ is king indeed. Is it possible to dig deeper into Erica Kirk? You don't think we've tried? You think we're just sitting on the sidelines here watching ball? You don't think we're playing ball? We're watching ball? Who programmed her? Normal people don't speak like her. Her eyes speak volumes. Tyler Boyer, her boyfriend. These people are so freaking strange. AK, BS, DF, FT, and more are suspect strange people. I agree with all that. I just don't know that it's possible at this point to dig deeper into her than the community already has. I mean, we found her travel reviews from 2017 and analyzed where she was relative to where Jeffrey of E-Files fame was at the exact same time. We noticed some overlaps down to the location of some particular restaurants or hotels. But my goodness, like, I wish we could dig deeper. If you got any ideas, I'm all ears. Lazarus Love. I think I might have some low IQ left in me. Whenever I talked about the case, I kept saying, Bongina. Rhymes with vagina. I only learned from you. Only did I learn from you the other day that his real name is Bongino. His real name's not Bongino. It's Bongina. Bongina. Donated $100 to Jeff's family. Wow, thank you. I'm a widow. COVID killed my husband of 34 years. I pray for everyone who asked for help in your show. Thank you. Brenda, that is beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Christ is king indeed. I'm a stay-at-home dad of 3 young kids. They really showed the love today. And I hope the same for the rest of the dads. And more flowers. Mr. Com, I hope you fed them well. I hope you fed them well. That is all. Leaving championship games at College World Series, hats off to the 4 people that yelled Baronisma amongst 24,000 baseball fans. See you tomorrow for Game 3. Season ticket holder since 1963. What is Baronisma? People were yelling Baronisma. Oh, Baronisms. Is that what you're saying? Baronisms? That's wild. I'd like a video of that. Like a video of that. I don't even know who's still in a College World Series. Any good teams still in it? Obviously, they're good teams, but let's see who's still playing. Where's the bracket? Here's the bracket. Looks like we have Oklahoma and North Kakalaki. Winner take all game tomorrow. 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 6 p.m. God's time. 6 p.m. God's time, Monday night. Oh, my goodness. That'll be a fun one. I like those winner take all games. I like when they win on a winner take all games. I hope it's a 1-run game in the bottom of the last inning. I can't wait until it's time to talk about the Ashkenazi versus genetic J people, entire government of the blue place has been A people since 1948. People aren't ready to hear. Well, I'm pretty confident people are aware of that, Michaela. I'm fairly confident people are aware of that. Is Tyler Robinson a bona fide how do you want me to verify that? How do you want me to verify that? I mean, I guess there's only one way to find out, but I don't know. I have my doubts. I have my doubts that Lance is a trans or a furry. The pictures of him in Houston, he looks like a normal, maybe not normal, but he looks like a man. Looks quite manly. Poolside al pastor tacos for lunch. Superb. That is all. That is all. That sounds good. Sounds good. Poolside. Is it possible to obtain satellite imagery from September 10th above Phil Lyman's aunt's house? He claims he parked in the drive at 11:30, and if imagery shows his vehicle parked there before 11:30, that will show a hole in his alibi. Unfortunately, I think the satellite imagery we have is from like 11:21 right there. But I'll show you something, because what's interesting about it is, I'll show you what I'm talking about. There are, in the satellite imagery we have, just in front of his aunt's house, 3 people walking in all black. I'll show you right now. This is the image above his aunt's house. I believe this was just before 11:30. You'll notice his car is not there. No car. Because his car was parked right here. There were actually 3 cars total parked right here. But if you look right here, there are 2 people dressed in all black, and come up a little further, and there's someone else dressed in all black. Those people stand out to me because very few people that day were in all black. Go look at any crowd shot. How many people do you see in head to toe black? Almost no one, right? Almost no one. I'm going to check something here. I think I can. Oh, goodness. There we go. Add marker. Yeah, this was at 11:18 p.m. 11:18 a.m. was when that picture was captured. 11:18 a.m. So, but to me, that's pretty fascinating. That at 11:18 a.m., walking towards the campus, 42 minutes before the event started, you have 3 people in all black walking down the exact street where Tyler Robinson walked. And let me go back and show you this again. Again, just in case you're wondering why I'm saying 11:18. When you add this marker, I can't remember how to see the value of the marker. Anyway, when you add the marker, it tells you what time this image was taken. It was 11:18 a.m., trust me. But if you scroll back, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the road Tyler Robinson took, allegedly, walked in. This is the image. This is the house that you see him walking in front of with that limp, where he's walking on this side of the road, on what's on our right side of the screen. It's the left if you're walking south, but as you're walking here, it's the right side of the road. And then he gets here and he crosses over the road in the middle, and you can see that on this camera. But this was captured at 11:18. Why are there 3 people walking in all black down the exact same stretch of road that Tyler Robinson would then come down about 10 minutes later? Maybe 15 minutes later. That's pretty weird to me, if I'm being honest. Like, that's a data point that I think needs to be addressed. Who are these people in all black? Can we find them at the event? Do we have a group of 3 people together in all black? I don't know. But apparently, Phil Lyman got here to this location 12 minutes after that picture was taken. So, whatever. What can you do, right? It is what it is. That's interesting. Hold on. Let me look at something. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's interesting. If nothing else. Good call. That's a good comment. Did Tyler Farnsworth, Terrell Farnsworth, tell CO he didn't want to send the vid to via Gmail because it would be tracked because he knew how TPUSA has so many tracking links everywhere? No, I think she was recommending a transfer software, and he was not taking her up on it. Love you, B, but this one's for Nurse Casey. Love my V-necks. Haven't worn tees in ages due to only crews having the sleeve links. Her pics are perfect. I can wave without my wings flapping. All right, Nurse Casey, you've made a wing flapper happy. I'm just kidding. I would never say such a thing. They should be looking at the dirt that was dug up for the papers. Agreed. Dr. Erica Kirk also drinks Fiji water because it's delicious. When you want her to drink undrinkable water. Charlie also drank Fiji water. It is delicious water for the price. It's as good a water as you're going to get in that price point that I've found. I love that when I come into chat, I know I've entered my community, my tribe, the truth seekers. I love you all. Wow, what a testimony. Thank you. What a testimony to this crowd. Not only didn't he act alone, he didn't act at all. Ooh. Happy Father's Day, Baron. Thanks for this high IQ community. Keep up the good work. See how I'm learning? I know what Kutgua means now. Hi, my B. Okay, have to ask. Why is the FBI involved at all? This is a state case, correct? Why do they have evidence at all, not turning it over? Thank you. Christ is king indeed. I really don't know. Is there a way to choose V-neck on the designs? Like for the intellectually honest one, crew neck and Texas Heat is like being strangled by a weak midget. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It depends on if you're into that. I don't know. Nurse Casey can answer that question. I'm sure if you emailed realbaronpodcast@gmail.com and asked that question, she might be able to help you. I think once you have the design, it's fairly easy for her to match. But Baron, you're the man. Has Candace been shown the Butch Hibbs clip, especially the Rode Mike looking shape in his shirt pocket at the event? I think so, but I could send her the pictures. It's a good call. They craft and recraft the narrative to fit. You mean they lie? That's called lying. I wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. An ex-husband, Matt. He is with mom today as she's having surgery. Please say prayers. Love this community. Thank you. Appreciate that. Prayers indeed for the for your mom or his mom. Hey, my B. Check your email. Subject line: the power of a podcast. A reporter with the Tennessean wants to talk to you. You are the best humble host. The Tennessean. I have declined several interviews with mainstream publications because they typically just want to savage you. I told one of them that as much. Okay, I found it. I told one of them as much that I don't feel like you're an honest person. She didn't take it well. She didn't take it well at all, but she stopped bothering me. Happy Father's Day. We all appreciate you coming on today and bringing breakthrough info. Thank you, Megan. Happy Father's Day to whoever's in your life that needs such a greeting. TPUSA was co-founded by Bill Montgomery, maybe confounded too. Am I totally forgetting who this guy is? Can't remember a deep dive. Oh, you need to watch more Real Baron podcast, Merle. We've done several shows on Bill Montgomery. Played lots of videos of him, read through his different documents. Yeah, we've done a lot on Bill Montgomery. Ask one of your chat bots there to give you links to all the shows we talked about him. Won't TR's defense team subpoena the TPUSA camera footage taken on 9/10/25? Well, yes. But there are issues with that. There are issues with that. They should just hand it over and then have it turned over. Sneff Les Grossman. Thank you for your bravery to find truth. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Wish it were just trolls. My BFF is angry with me, saying Satan is dividing me from supporting, looks like the blue country, saying I hate choose. I won't even look at evidence or reconcile being for life and backing what is doing. Won't even look at evidence or reconcile. Well, Michaela, here's my advice. I give this advice in all seriousness. Don't destroy friendships over politics. Don't destroy friendships over politics. Family relationships, friendships, they rise above the politics. Neither one of you believing what the other person believes is going to change anything about the way the world works. So when asked, supply your answer. Maybe once or twice, supply it without being asked, and then move on. They'll know your position. I didn't know that Rob helped run TP Faith. I can't believe I missed that. I think he founded TP Faith, if I'm not mistaken. Being the most corrupt org within TP, it tracks why Mikey may be scared for his life, in my opinion. This breaks my heart for Charlie. Yeah, Rob was like the TPUSA Faith guy. Baron, your place in heaven is reserved. Oh, good. I can stop worrying about it. Thank you for sharing Jeff and his. I got a lot of stuff I'd like to do. No, I'm just kidding. Jeff, and thank you for sharing Jeff and his family with us. I was proud to be part of the response, and I feel all fuzzy inside. Bless you. Bless you for helping them. Honestly, bless you. Robinson has never stepped foot on that campus. He was not there. What you're missing is that the feds admitted that these still images were AI enhanced. Well, yes, that is true. They did say they enhanced the images. They didn't say AI enhanced. They said they did enhance the images from closer to noon, but they also said they saw his car and had images of him on campus around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And so we can't rule that out. But Baron, happy Father's Day to you, and happy Father's Day to your ultimate Father in heaven. Christ is King indeed. I no longer have my earthly father. He was amazing, just like you. Keep up the incredible work. That's awfully kind of you, Ms. Hubbard. Very kind of you. Thank you. You know what? I think both Charlie and Erica represented different views to different people, depending on what they would get out of the situation. Oh, gosh. I don't entirely agree with that. I don't entirely agree with that. I think there may have been some manipulation, some adjustments, sometimes. Nobody's perfect. But I don't think it was a constant all things to all people. Doesn't matter if it violates our conscience or not. I don't know about that. Hey, B, thank you for all you do. It's miraculous to see this high IQ outfit can support your friends, family. You believe there's a reason why current day Phillies don't call themselves Ebrews. No. No idea. I've never even put thought into it. Never crossed my mind. Got my holy mackerel sweatshirt today. I love it. Thank you. Remember, Jesus loves you and Christ is King indeed. Thank you. I love that holy mackerel shirt. I didn't even realize I said it all that much until you guys started pointing it out. Charlie Kirk said in an interview, I saw where he didn't do any of his social media posts and hadn't for a few years. Great work, Baron. Thank you. Charlie said in an interview, I saw where he didn't do his social media. Oh, well, thank you. I did not see that. You guys made me check something on the shop. Okay, good. Where are we? Here we are. Am I the only one thinking Tyler and his team are designing his case to win only if it means protecting the real conspirators, assassins, either for self-preservation, personal interest, or both? Probably not the only one. It's not my position. My B. The bullet didn't fit the road mic per Officer Tatum. We are nuts if we don't accept the Fed slap. That was probably top 5 most ludicrous takes on the Charlie Kirk case I've heard yet. Like, you cannot believe the road mic theory, but to then put a 30-06 with its full shell, not just a little bullet, but its full shell, and put it up against the mic and say, see, it's longer than the mic. You can't do that. All right. You really think that's how it works, officer? You think that's it? They just like duct taped a bullet to the side of the mic and hope he wouldn't notice? Come on. Come on. Charlie said once he went off in a tweet, had to ask for the password from an assistant. And when Andrew got back, they had to come to Jesus talk. Oh, yeah, see? See? TR had court last week with the defense filed a contempt of court on prosecutors over media coverage of ATF report the defense unsealed. Baron, you out of town. Do you know of the hearing? I covered it, didn't I? Daisy, did I cover that? I thought I did. At least we prepped a show for it. I thought I covered it. But yeah, I'm familiar with the hearing. Yeah, familiar with the hearing. Have you watched Rebecca Roth Speaks? Her podcast supports the injuries you saw in pics that a new weapon from Fort Huachuca. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Rebecca Roth Speaks supports the injuries you saw in pics that a new weapon from Fort Huachuca. No, I haven't seen that. I have to look out for it. Their job, keep him fed, distracted, or busy. Keep who? Charlie? So why do you trust this person that is giving this information? Because they're reliable. And I have other reasons to trust it that I can't tell you. I have other reasons I can't share at this time, but I might have to at some point. Current grand juror in Aiken. I like this jury better. Merch idea, RBP grand juror, vinyl car sticker. Congrats, Granddad. Sorry for your buddy. We love you. Christ is King indeed. That's actually a really cool idea for it. We could do like an official grand jury sticker and people think you're in the grand jury of wherever you live. Be like, no. Different grand jury. I wouldn't want to be on a grand jury. At least the grand juries I'm familiar with, they last forever. Actually, I had to testify in front of a grand jury a couple times. Not my crime. I was kind of shocked. It was so funny because I'm walking in and they're on a break and I'm like walking in to the little holding pen and someone I knew was on the grand jury. I didn't know they were on the grand jury because it's a secret, you know? And she walks in, she's like, what are you doing here? I was like, don't tell anybody I was here. I was subpoenaed. I wasn't like ratting on. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a grand jury. It ruins your life. You can miss a bunch of stuff. Baron Lionel said to contact him. He'll get you in touch with Tucker. Do it. Christ is King indeed. Very kind of Lionel to offer that. I haven't decided whether to reach out or not. I'm torn on the issue. That is kind of Lionel, though. I like Lionel quite a lot. He's a good guy. Genuinely a good guy. I've talked to him off the show. He's great. He's a very kind individual. Message from your friend's wife was beautiful. So grateful the jurors could help. That's what real community is about. Thanks for keeping that spirit alive for us. So sorry for your loss. Yeah, I remember, I don't remember what year it was, 2016, I think. Going to the Donald Trump inauguration, there was a small college, a historically black college and university. I think it was out of Talladega. I don't remember exactly where it was. But they had accepted an invite to go to the inauguration, and they took a lot of heat for it. And donors were pulling their money, and like people were threatening them, do not go support Donald Trump. I think I've got my facts right. And somebody opened a GoFundMe for him, and I threw like $10. I mean, that's all I had at the time. But I wanted to help. You know, let's get him there. Let's take care of him. They raised so much money This is the first time I'd ever been involved in a crowdsourcing thing where like my $10 went in. They ended up raising like $500,000 or more, something crazy. They bought all new uniforms. They had tickets there and back, hotel, food. I mean, it was crazy. And I thought, wow, it's amazing. Like that was cool to be a part of. Like keep refreshing every few hours and watch it. It was like 50,000. It was 100 and 150. It was cool. Happy Father's Day, B. While in labor with my third, my husband asked, are you seriously listening to Barron right now? That's awesome. Yes, love, his voice is soothing. Nurse Casey, women's Razorback. Go Max Cross, please. You're asking for a Razorback tank top with the Go Max Cross logo. I thought it was a racerback. Is it a razorback? I'll allow either. I'm not picky on that. That's funny, Valerie. That's great. I think it's it's quite the opposite because when Mrs. Coleman's in labor, she doesn't find my voice nearly as soothing. I'm kidding, honey. Kidding. You know, we played the same album for all 8 of our kids. You know, you play music, you know, a little soft music in the background. Tracy Chapman's New Beginnings album. All of our kids came into the world to some song on that album. And that album played on repeat for all 8 of them, I believe. I don't think there was any we missed doing that. Great album. Great album. This is just sickening to learn. Happy Father's Day. B, is Candace okay? Christ is King. Oh, yeah. Candace is great. Candace is great. Celebrating Father's Day in style with her family. Please pray the man I love opens his heart again. Oh, goodness gracious. Do we have unrequited love on the horizon here? I'll pray for you. That sounds like a tough situation. Hi, Baron. Happy Father's Day. More far. I still got to get used to people not saying, not, it sounds like you're using slang, calling me an ugly word, but I allow it. FBI, having seen the footage so many times, require them to create a documented assessment of what they saw that would fall under Brady. I would hope so. I would hope so too. But they don't have it. Like it's not in their possession, and it's not in another government agency's possession. So I don't know how that would work. Honestly, what a beautiful message from your friend's wife. Happy Father's Day, B. And these TPUSA people are piranhas. Nothing AK will ever be embarrassed to say or do. Disgusting. Your cackle. OMG. My what, man? My cackle. Oh, I hope that was me making fun of Blake's cackle. Because he cackled. I just laughed. I lost my mom 5 years ago to the same cancer as Jeff. Oh, my goodness. Wow. It was only 7 months until my mom was called home. I'm grateful to be a small piece of the Armstrong healing. Thank you for sharing their story. Happy Father's Day. Christ is King indeed. Wow. What a touching connection. I'm sorry for your loss. Similar to your point about voice, pacing, and syntax, the clip Candace played of the disguised ally bragging on 60 Minutes, the first person reminds me of Greenblatt style of speech. I'd have to go back and listen. Not much bigger. Candace has 6 million subscribers. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of watches, I mean, she'll get 4 to 6 times the views on an individual episode we get. 800,000 a show or a week. What'd she say? 800,000 a week is a lot more than 4 to 6 times what we make here on the Real Baron podcast. So I'm just doing it in terms of views, not necessarily subscribers. Stirring it up, Baron. TPUSA will be in panic mode. Well, they need to be in honest mode for once. Just throw that switch into honest mode, guys. It's like the plaid button in a Tesla. Just click honest and start. Be like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. The reason Candace, you and other podcasters are doing well is because you're a voice for a lot of people. You say what we're thinking and you're being heard. That's why. And thank you for that. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's very kind. Good morning. Number one on the Sunshine Coast, Australia. Hope your family's well. And you have some women's t-shirts made in a V-neck. Thank you for your George Jones Museum question reply. You're welcome. Women's t-shirts in a V-neck. I think we have a few. I don't know if we need more, but I think we have a few. First super chat ever. Just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, 9 Girl. Very kind of you. I noticed that. You see, listen. Your humble host is maturing. Because there was a time not too terribly long ago when I had a lot of fun on this podcast talking about Rob McCoy's clothing. You remember Rob the Sailor Man? I don't do that anymore. I've matured, grown up. I'm a new man. But yeah, he's got a little overhang there. He and Blake Neff go to the same gym. They both have that muffin top right there. Rob, I could fix that for you. Give me 90 days. Give me 90 days. We won't even need Ozempic. We won't even need Ozempic. Meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. Constantly very functional movement, execute at high intensity, increasing work capacity across broad times and multiple domains. 90 days of that, Robbie. You'll be a new man. New man. Are you aware Cash wrote and starred in Salem's government gangsters in 2024? He told us exactly how the 3-letter agencies run this country and operations, like a pre-confession. IMO. I was not aware. Not aware. Might be worth watching, though. We're talking about the Glendale target or the Nora target? LMAO. I love how you throw Indianapolis out in your podcast. Well, I was thinking more like the Target up in Carmel. We got to go a little bit more. A little bit more. North of Keystone at the crossing. Keep going. Keep going. I watch you too much. I accidentally told my students before starting class, welcome in, welcome in. That's a perfect intro to a class. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, they'll love that. They'll love that. He's despicable. Who goes to church to hear this crap? This is brainwashing. He is preaching to his congregation of 3. Oh, I bet there were more than 3 people there. Even if there were only 3 talking. I've never been, I don't think I've been to a church where they talk in the audience. Maybe I have. If I have, I don't remember. I'm trying to think, there's a couple maybe I thought they did. Or they would have. And did you know Parscale on Mike Gallagher's Salem show, January 2025, states he had a vivid dream about what Salem could be, and the group he represents helped him fund it 90 short days. Waterstone. Spectral evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Spectral evidence. He should be shamed. That's Salem witch trial stuff, dreaming about your business. That's what Robbie told me. Rob the Sailor Man. Rob McCoy. People should remind AK he was the one who gave authorities the infamous text thread and ask him why he did it. Let's not forget. I'd rather ask Joe Kent those questions. What's up, B? The all curves and no brakes recall caught me off guard. Yeah. She said a lot of weird stuff on Twitter, on Instagram back in the day. Some of it's not safe for television or whatever we do here. Thank you for being a trustworthy enough person so we could confidently give to a stranger in need that you know. Keep hold of our trust, B, please, and thank you. I will do my best. I'll do my best. That's why I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Like people were saying, let me Venmo you. No. Let's not do that. Not that I wouldn't give her the money. I absolutely would 100%. But the problem is then it opens up the people are like, oh, he's just soliciting donations. He's not getting. How do I prove that? You know, how do I prove I get? Let's just go through a family run thing. And I knew I eventually would get the permission to do it. I just didn't want to bother her in the first couple of days of grief. But thank you. Thank you. I really struggle with people who claim to be of faith, Rob, so openly lie and misleads. It feels gross to me. I don't know how they justify it. Well, one of two ways. One is they don't believe in the faith. They don't believe in their faith. This goes for people of all faiths. Right? If I'm Jewish and I lie to your face, I don't believe my faith. If I'm a Hindu and I lie to your face, I don't believe my faith. Now, that's not being mistaken. Give Rob the benefit of the doubt here. He might have a fundamental misunderstanding. Maybe he doesn't watch Candace and all he's heard is this. But if so, maybe you shouldn't be criticizing. Maybe you shouldn't be criticizing. But if it's a material fact and you're intentionally misrepresenting it, this isn't something he would have forgotten. Right? If someone says, oh, have you ever, you know how hard it is to operate this Yamaha mower? And I'm like, no, I don't ever know at all how hard it is. And they're like, oh, well, I know 13 years ago you operated one of those one day. I just forgot. That's not lying. It's just being wrong. RM needs to sit down and read the Bible. Might learn something. Happy Father's Day, B. Christ is King. The problem is they only read parts of it. Only like parts of it. May God continually bless your friend Jeff's dear family. It has been even more, especially hard for them today on Father's Day. It has to be. On Father's Day, sending continued thoughts and many prayers. Yeah. Like I said, there's also a birthday coming up, an anniversary coming up. It's going to be a very tough few weeks. Very tough. You gave AK the benefit of the doubt forever. It turns out he's the most diabolical person in the entire case. I'd like people to know I also gave Erica Kirk the benefit of the doubt for months. Months. That's why I get so irritated when people say, you're grifting off a widow's death. No, I'm not. The show's fastest growth was while I was defending Erica. And then finally it gets to the point where you're like, it's indefensible, guys. I can't defend her any longer. Mikey went and got reprogrammed. He's back now. Might have gotten fear put in him. Rob McCoy's audience need to remember all the lies he's told. I pray God gives him a few dreams to remind him of his eternity. But bear on your bright light in the dark world. God bless you and your family and this high IQ jury. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Rachel, all the way from Oregon. The FBI and its Zionists are framing Tyler Robinson, in my opinion. Happy Father's Day. Well, you're not alone there. I promise you other people share that opinion. Thank you for the Happy Father's Day. Can you comment on why Erica is having a conversation with Satan recently? Does she now believe Satan shook Charlie? Yeah, she does, apparently, according to her. And she told him it was okay. It was creepy. It was really creepy. I don't know where. I can't pull it up off the top of my head. And I don't know that we have time to pull it up right now. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, I had a whole conversation with the Prince of Darkness. I don't want to misquote her, but she said something like, you can take Charlie, but you can't take me. I can't remember exactly. Is anyone else's pastor talking about Candace and not Jesus? Leave ASAP. So gross. It's all about Jesus. Christ is King. Happy Father's Day, B. I can confidently say I've never been in a church service where Candace has come up. And that includes church services where Candace is present. And it's still not come up. Yeah, I don't recall it. Don't recall it at all. I don't recall any podcaster coming up. Another show stated Crooks was taken somewhere else. Can't comment on other shows. That epic grab of Fibber, Rob, going on socials. Grab of Fibber. Been to plenty of churches where people in the congregation verbally co-sign what the preacher says, but I have a feeling Pastor Rob pays the guy to do that to give Rob an air of authenticity. I believe it happens because, there's that, there's like a trope of people doing that. I don't think I've ever experienced it. Maybe I have. I don't think I have. Maybe I have. Incredible what this community can do. Beautiful. Thank you from that genuinely godly woman. I am praying for her family and yours. She is genuinely godly. Genuinely godly. Yeah, genuinely. Thank you. Normal Christian Americans such as Barron, Candace, Jeff, and others are authentic people. We value Christ, truth, same thing. Generosity, actually caring for people and meeting their needs. Yeah. I mean, isn't that the goal? Is if you have extra, you help people who maybe don't have extra. I think that's the goal, right? My sister and I both had a dream on the same night that our dearly departed mom was sitting beside our bed. It felt real. I felt it was real, but I'll settle for it was a dream. Dreams are very powerful. I think I shared this on this show. I had not sitting on my bed. I had a dream. I had a friend I lost on July 7th of 2007. He was my very best friend in high school. He died in a tragic motorcycle accident 10 years after we left school. We both had moved on with our lives. I had a wife and a kid and a pregnant wife at the time. And he had moved back to Nashville recently and was at the fairgrounds watching a race with his dad, a car race. And he was on a motorcycle. And he was driving home and a car pulled out in front of him. And he smashed into the car and died. I don't want to get too deep. I think they took him to Vanderbilt and he died the next day, but he died. And it tore me up. Like, it really broke my heart. And it wasn't too long after that. I would say within a month, I had one of the most real dreams I've ever had in my life of encountering him. Walking with him, talking with him, him showing me around wherever we were. I mean, it was weird. The place we were was very weird. But him showing me around and telling me where he was staying and assuring me everything was fine and I had nothing to worry about. And I woke with this just profound sense of peace. Profound sense of peace. And I still think about that. So I like to think it's real. I like to think I had a real encounter with him. I don't know. I don't know whether I did or not. I've just been my brain processing it. And I don't know what to make of that kind of stuff, but I do think dreams are very powerful. Hey, Baron, Nikki from AU. Love the community. Raised atheist. Very empathetic. I sense energy around me. Never felt God's presence, though I love others' joy in him. I am surprised I can't feel it, and it saddens me at times. Do you have any insight? I really genuinely recommend people who this is hard. This is going to be tough. I really recommend people who feel this way. Go find Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talking about it. He was in this boat. He was raised in a Christian family. Obviously, the Kennedys are a very famous Christian family in this country. You're in Australia, I see, but he was raised in a very famous Christian family in this country, but he had lost his faith and he had nothing. He didn't feel anything. He had no anything. But he wanted to. And so he started living like it. He identified some key sins that the church would say are sins in his life. And he's like, well, I need to get rid of these because these are, I always like the Spanish word without, sin, because it's spelled like sin in English. And it's the same thing. It's without God. It's separating you from God. So I love that. And I assume, and I don't speak Latin, I assume there's some root that the Spanish, because it is a Romance language, direct descendant from Latin. I assume there's some reason why sin means without. Or means no. Essentially, separate, don't have. And when he removed those obstacles and started living as if it was true and he believed it, over time he started to. Because that's what sin does. It separates us. It removes our ability to bridge that gap. And for some people, they get so hardened to sin, they just, and I'm not suggesting you're a sinner. I don't know you from Adam's house cat, but I would identify anything in your life. I would first look up him talking about it because he explains it far more eloquently than your humble host. But I would look and I would start removing anything in my life that I think could possibly impact my relationship with God and just get rid of it and start acting like it's true. And then see how you feel a year or two from now. And know that to me, Christianity is not an emotion. I don't have a particularly emotional faith. That's not my contact with God. I know some people that is their thing. They love emotion. They like going to a church that gets them feeling a certain way. That's not me. I don't, even when I go to those churches, I don't feel that way. And I have been to many. And I'm not knocking those people. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying it's not true Christianity. That's not it at all. I'm just saying my pursuit of God tends to be a more rational or intellectual pursuit just because that's how I'm wired. I'm not a terribly emotional person. I do get emotional, but I'm not a super emotional person. And so that's what I would do. That would be my advice. Live like it's true. Talk to some people or listen to some people who have been there and who have become more faithful or developed a faith from scratch. And see what worked for them. But I like his story. It resonates with me. So, and then remember the Roman centurion. The Roman centurion sees Jesus suffering. It says, I believe. Help me in my unbelief. You know, sometimes it just takes a kernel, like that desire. I want to believe. Help me in my unbelief. You know, I mean, you can start praying. It doesn't hurt to pray if you don't believe, even if you don't believe it. Worst that happens is you basically meditated. Nothing wrong with that, you know. So start praying out loud. Pray in your head. Pray as you go through your day. Talk to God as if He's there, and just see. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm not Nick. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a priest. I'm just your humble host. Random comeback from last podcast. You wondered why my QC Canada was. It's Quebec, the French part, where we put gravy and cheese curds on fries and call it a treasure. I'm from Sherbrooke. Isn't that called like Poudin or something? Poudin. That's delicious, by the way, if that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. Gravy, fries, French Canada. What's that called? Poutine. I've had it. It's amazing. I live in rural India for some years. Pigs, huge hogs, roam dumpsters and railroad tracks, feasting on garbage and human manure. That's why one is told don't eat them. There's enough human manure laying around just to feed the hogs. Thought we solved that problem 100 years ago. Rob McCoy looks like he's doing a stand-up comedy routine, which is oddly fitting. Christ is King indeed. Go Max. I will do my best. Thank you. 7th generation Texan. That would, I mean, wasn't it Mexico back then? That's pre-1848, isn't it? Protestant boomer, non-dispensationalist, non-zionist here. Just letting y'all know we exist. Fulfillment theology is biblical, part of church doctrine from the beginning. Dispensationalism is recent, starting in the 1800s. Careful. You can get banned from YouTube for saying that. Uncle Barron, in a world full of lies, let truth be your weapon and justice be your shield. Christ will guide your path, steady your heart, and protect you as you fight for what is right. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. That's very kind. Great advice, by the way. Great advice. PSA, time to start checking for new coroners and judges ahead of speaking engagements. Exactly. I'm not showing up in any county where a judge or a coroner has been appointed in the last 90 days. I'm out. Mr. Coleman, would you like to speak in this? No. Chief medical examiner just got appointed. I'm out. Sorry. Catch one and maybe sure it's not mechanical. Oh, lots of bugs flying around. Yeah. Oh, I'll also check for Hades. Yeah, I'll have FlightAware pointed up. See everything above me. Mikey's back. Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Wonder what colorful superlatives Mikey 2.0 will be assigned. Think he's back to curb the sniff, clean up the fallout from Kolvet's new X account, partnering with the ghost of Charlie. Oh, gosh. OMG, all the churches I've gone to do the hooping and hollering. That one that won't shh so I can hear. Amen, brother. Preach it. Hallelujah. I'm sure I've been to one. I just don't recall it. Happy Father's Granddad's Day. Any update on our fascinating little plane? N465 FX. From the moment I saw fly over my house on 5/13, I felt something was off. I literally barren gasped seeing it was at Salt Lake City on 9/9 and 9/10. I think I still have that pulled up. Oh, no, I don't. There. What day did you say? May 13th? Why were you looking at planes on May 13th that are flying over your house? Are you paranoid? That sounds that's crazy talk. But you know what I'm doing right now? I'm going to May 13th and I'm looking at where you live. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Oh, you could be anywhere. It flew from Denver to DC to Charlotte. Man, you could be anywhere. You could be in Indianapolis. You could be in Iowa, Omaha, Colorado. I thought I was going to pull a fast one. No, I don't have any update. I did look into it today, actually. Go Max B. Great work by you and Daisy. Interview ideas beyond George and Tucker. How about John Mappin? He seems to really blast this thing open, too. That'd be a fun interview. I like John Mappin. Increase is a dope name. Blake Increase Sneff. Yeah, Increase is amazing. I thank you, Rob, for bringing that to us. Thalia was a widow. Tons in common with Erica. Duly noted. Necklace equals bug mic equals explosive device. I'll tell you, if I had to lean towards any of them that caused the actual wound, it's the necklace. But I understand why people don't. I know people love the mic theory. I'm not discounting the mic theory. I think something probably did happen with the mic. But there's just that necklace I can't get over. There's too much activity around the necklace. You and the wife have your ninth increased family. No. I already have an 8 tattoo. I can't get a 9th. We're old. I was watching an EK video when it hit me. EK's resume, LinkedIn, is like her bra. They're both padded. Expect me to comment on that? Did you notice the widow went from uptalk to vocal fry? Thought I was watching Christine Blasey Ford. Apparently Satan can have Charlie. Yeah, you guys are going to make me pull this video up. I'll find it. Let's see if I can find it on Satan Can Have Charlie. Yep, found it. See? Didn't think that was hard. All right, let's watch it here. This is from Shadow of Ezra. Give everybody credit here. We'll watch the vocal fry. This will be fun.
But when I said that, it was because it was something I really meant. And again, it wasn't scripted. And I just knew that saying that was my moment of being able to literally make a statement against Satan, saying, you can take my husband, and you can try to divide this country, but I refuse to let you take any piece of me because I need to be here for my babies.
That's a weird statement. You can take Charlie, but you can't take me. Man, that's weird. I will say this. I hope she's healthy. I'm not joking when I'm saying this. There's not a piece of me that's joking. I genuinely hope she's feeling okay and healthy because she looks very frail in this clip.
And I need to also be here for what my husband left for us and entrusted to us.
And I'm not sure that's a vocal fry. I think that's more like whisper speak. And it could be because she's sad. It could be because she's faking it. I don't know. But it sounded like an emotional person. She looks unwell. Like she always had kind of a round face. She does not anymore. It looks very thin and gaunt. Her wrists look thinner. Like she looks like she's lost. I'm not just saying this. Upwards of 30 or 40 pounds. And that cannot, I don't think that's by design. I mean, she was never fat. She had big fingers, but she's not the only person that has big fingers. But no, I mean, she looks very, very frail right now. I do hope she's doing well. I don't want bad things to happen to her. I don't want to be mistaken ever. I do not want ill to befall her. I don't want evil to befall her. I want her to be honest. And if she has done something wrong, I want her removed from that position because it has too much influence to be entrusted with somebody who's done something wrong. And I do think she does something wrong. She's been caught lying like a lot, a whole lot. But that whole Satan can have Charlie. That's I've been for your biggest fan, Cape Town, South Africa. Christ is King and keep going, Mac. See you, ladies and gentlemen. This is proof there is no such thing as a Southern Hemisphere. Because if there was, she would have said going Max. She said Mac, like a Mack truck. I'm kidding, Esther. You know I'm kidding. Thank you for your wonderful comment. And I hope it's beautiful winter you're having there in Cape Town, South Africa. The more we learn about the things going on with Turning Point, the more we wonder, did CK really know these people or was he not the person we thought? A lot of people keep asking that. I think right now I'm leaning towards he didn't know these people, that they all pulled a fast one on him and he was just gone so much he didn't really have a chance to evaluate. But I don't know. I truthfully don't know. In increase, bear on my beat. Love you and this community. Christ is King indeed. I love you more, Jessica Ferrand. Love you more. And anyone who calls me increase has my heart. You had me at increase. Encourage everyone to watch TC's show with Nathan Apfel. I watched it in its entirety and did not fall asleep. Correction. I did fall asleep, but I went back and rewatched the part after I fell asleep. I had to keep rewinding to find the spot where I was, and I was not as far in as I thought I was. But I did finish it. I know RBP Candace and others touched on the geofencing issue, but there's so much truth pointed out by Apfel. I belong to the Ethiopian Orthodox Christian faith, but we aren't spared. I liked half of what Apfel said, if I'm being honest. Apfel, whatever his name is. I liked half of it a lot. The other half I thought was a little bit of a reach. That's okay. I don't have to agree 100% with everybody. Oh no, cannot be happening right now. You are telling me a lie. Oh, please. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. Look at the word trending here. Saw face is trending. Saw face. That's what Candace calls Laura Loomer. Saw face. And it's trending. It's one of 3 topics trending, and it's trending in news. Saw face. Back to Apfel. I actually listened to part of it while working out. That is not ideal working out material, but I needed to kill 2 birds with one stone because I didn't have enough time. So here I am dying. I'll tell you what, the workout we did today was so awful. I'll probably do it again just to see if it's as awful next time. It was as bad as anything I've done in a long time. It was a rower and kettlebell shoulder to overhead. It was like 2-2-2-3. You did a little row, and then you did AMRAP shoulder to overhead for the rest of the 2 minutes. Then you rested 2 minutes. Then you did it 2 minutes, rest 2 minutes, do 2 minutes, rest 2 minutes, and then do it for 3 minutes on the last round. It was horrific. I mean, horrific. It was in my lungs all day. I could not stop coughing up. You know, when you work out really hard, you get that it's down in your lungs. Had it all day. It was awful. But yeah, that was not ideal working out music. That wasn't today. That was whenever that was. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we got somebody got a gifted membership. Well, they're real. Thank you for the poignant show. In my opinion, we're the enemy because approved conspiracy distractions are okay. Encouraged. The emperor needs the Colosseum. Calling out the Epstein class is not okay. I'm beginning to think that the whole Epstein thing is a limited hangout. And that's why they're holding back documents. It's not that what's in the documents are necessarily damning. It's that they need the issue to stay on as a limited hangout. They need us to keep thinking it was about perverts and 16-year-old girls. I don't think it was. But Baron sent you a little book that destroys dispensationalism in the words of our Savior and apostles. Thank you. Well, could you send me the Bible? Got 3 of them right there. Is anyone turning any of this information about TPUSA potential financial fraud, at the very least involvement to cover up to CK's death, to AZAG? I don't know. Who's the AZAG? Who is the Attorney General of Arizona? Why can't I find it? Someone named Chris Mays. Chris Mays. She looks like a Democrat, is she? She a Democrat? Yep, member of the Democratic Party. I can just tell by looking at them. I mean, 90% of the times I'm right. I'm right 90% of the time. Does the issue of the video then not make the FBI complicit in covering up a murder, especially when they've been through it hundreds of times? It's weird. I'm behind, just lost it with you impersonating Blake's laugh. That was fun. He cackled maniacally. Both my mom and dad left this world the week before Easter, 4 days apart. Holy Toledo. But that's honestly, what a blessing for them, I guess. As long as their kids are as long as they're not taking care of anybody. It's a blessing. They don't have to live apart, I think. But gosh, that's tough, Charlotte. That's tough for you. Rob McCoy preaching about Candace or any YouTube commentators in church is bizarre. I genuinely don't understand why that topic belongs in a sermon. I don't either. Seems that Charlie's assassination by state foreign actors was a casualty of war and the overall spiritual war happening. How can we expose and make the foreign state actors accountable? That's what I mean. If I knew, we'd do it. I run a pro-life org at which Charlie once spoke. TPUSA's had a booth with us for years. Last year, I refused to allow them entry due to what I'd learned about them through you and Candace. I won't give them access to our youngsters. I don't know that I would want them in my organization right now. Not the way they're acting. Baron, I see a pattern. Somehow you can relive the 10th, 7th experience. 10/7th experience. Also, they set up the tent so people could relive the Charlie Kirk tent scene. Screams fake trauma bonding with common folk. Oh, wow. That's a good call. I never even thought about that. For a super chat, I feel like I owe you for sneaking into the Friday members only show. It was great. Love you, my B. Yeah, that was my fault. I think I looked and like 190 something people snuck in that weren't members. For like 4 minutes, I had it open to everybody, and a bunch of people jumped in that weren't members. And then I switched it over to members only. So then after that, now if you'd have refreshed, you'd have been doo-doo out of luck. Doo-dool. Oh, gosh. I made a terrible mistake. Oh. Salvaged it. Yeah. Thank you. Blessed Ray. Very kind of you. Oh, hold on. There we go. Security guy in front of Charlie doing hand signals. Why was he facing Charlie and not away? Happy FD and you and BD to my guy. Keith. Oh, happy Father's Day to you and birthday to your guy, Keith. Happy birthday, Keith. I don't know that there was a security guy in front of Charlie doing hand signals. If so, I haven't seen that one. Got to laugh at the Candace hate. Isn't it sad the clearest image we have of Tyler Robinson on that day is from a fast food joint provided by Candace? They're processing their guilt. Andrew Kolvet did say that. Baron, happy Father's Day. People love big families. I agree. Happy Father's Day, Baron. I saw a fellow Baronite downtown Anchorage yesterday as she spotted my RBP hat. Nurse Casey says I qualify for #1 Alaska fan now since I have an RBP Christ is King Alaska license plate. Oh, Julie, you're going to have to fight it out with our #1 Alaska fan. I don't want to be involved in that. That's going to be a bad brawl. Hope you guys don't run into each other in public. Hey, Big B. I'll allow it. Happy Father's Day to you and all our dads in here. Please shout out my son in heaven, Brandon Johnson, for his 32nd birthday, and also my fiance Marcus Place's 52nd birthday. Same day. Please, I love, and thank you. Christ is King indeed. Happy birthday, Marcus, and happy birthday, Brandon. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Same day. I guess there's only 365 of them. You got like 1/10 of 1% chance of that happening. Happy Father's Day to you, Baron. In a recent Valhalla video, Pete H working out shows Arabic tattoo and tricep, meaning disbeliever in God. Is that true? I'll have to go look that up. That's weird. I'll tell you what I saw in Pete Hegseth's working out video is bad thrusters. He did not hit depth and he did not get full extension. No rep, Pete. No rep. You're going to make a Hiller video. Jodie Foster was at Yale at the time. Jodie Foster went to Yale. I'm shocked. Your first super chat mentioned the reverence he felt at Mass. The only time I've ever been in a Catholic church was in a tiny mountain town in Idaho. That's what made an impression on me. Still think of it 40 years later. April, thank you. That's very kind to remember the first super chat and share your experience. Thank you. Jeff, donations are going to go over 300,000. My goodness, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Oh, Raging Storm Clouds dropping gifts on people. Thank you. I'm so glad Jeff's family will have time to grieve and spend time together. I lost my sweet mom a month ago today. Saw her 3 months ago, but wish I'd spent more time with her the past few years. Well, that's a common theme among people who lose people. Just a common theme. I've had that same feeling before. Thank you, Baron, for all your extremely hard work. Happy Father's Granddad Day. #1 fan from Scotland. Christ is King indeed. Oh, your last name makes a lot of sense. Laura Scott from Scotland. Scotland. You gotta say it like Sean Connery. Scotland. Happiest of Father's Day. Father's Days, Baron. I've followed faithfully since the very moment Ian first mentioned you on his Free Speech Friday. I'm grateful for you and for finding this high IQ outfit. Christ is King indeed. I was watching with you, username Kaylee, on that very same day, the first time he ever mentioned me on his Free Speech Friday. I was so excited about Free Speech Friday. I set the time aside. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to be around 5 o'clock. Decided to go get gasoline just to, be alone and have a little time to listen. And that's when it happened. Edge, happy Father's Day. Lots to say, but YouTube won't accept message. Finally, this superficial one passes the gate. I'll keep trying. You must be saying crazy stuff. Does that mean you don't believe in Antarctica? Christ is King indeed. You would believe in Antarctica, wouldn't you? You expect me to believe there's an Iceland down there, just a land full of ice? Come on. Oh, I promise it's real. There's a pole south. No, I do believe in Antarctica. I want to melt it. I want to get everybody out there. I want like industrial. I want to melt Antarctica. I think the best way to do it would be like to strategically melt lines on the ice sheet and have it like kick off into the South Atlantic and South Pacific, Indian Ocean, and have that melt. But I want to melt Antarctica, get all the ice off of it so I can see what's down there. I guarantee you it's bananas. Bananas. Christ is King indeed. Sorry for your friend's passing. We need to wake up to all the slop. Rome is buttoning. It's also burning. Rome is burning. Thank you for that. Very kind. Why is no one talking about how Michelle Burt is Tyler Robinson's attorney? Oh, Michael Burt and Farnsworth's cousin. It's true, guys. Look for yourself. I keep trying to tell Candace. Candace has talked about it many times. I've talked about it. What can you do about it? I mean, the bar has approved it. We can't make him get off the case. So happy Father's Day, Baron. Hope you had a blessed day. I did. Thank you. I don't regret 1 cent of my membership. Thank you, Baron and Candace, Baron and Company, for everything you bring to the table. I'm shy, but love this community so much. Kimmy Sue, there's no reason to be shy here. We're family. Like one big family. And we're community. Even better. Grand Happy Father's Day. State of Utah and FBI are going to look like morons when the defense plays a video of what a 30-06 does. Yeah. All they need is one hunter on that jury. One person who's ever fired that shoulder cannon. Rob sounds like he attended re-education camp. I'd like to see how many people he speaks to and their faces. Yeah. Well, they don't show that a lot. Start Road Mike and gradually put on inside a shirt on your being brainwashed tour. Someone trying to tell CK when naming tour a bit on the nose. Oh, you're saying that's when they started the Road Mic and on the inside? Yeah. If that Rode mic was recording and it wasn't damaged, it would have recorded all that audio after. It wouldn't have stopped. Happy Father's Day, my brother. You are amazing. Stay humble with success circling. We need to wake up our sleeping giants, the people. I'm afraid Rome is burning. Christ is king. Indeed. Indeed. You thinking of Will Buxton? Yes. Oh, that's who I was thinking of. Sexton. Will Buxton. He's an IndyCar now. That's correct. He is. He's a little dramatic for my taste. But he's good. The last couple laps, Indy 500. This is it. In a few moments, as someone's life will change forever. 3 of the 4 people at the front of the field have never won the Indianapolis 500. I do a mean Will Buxton. A mean Will Buxton. That was a cool finish this year to that race, by the way. In the last decade, at least the last decade, U.S. medical community encouraged patients to give up on living rather than live. I've been to many funerals where it said the deceased went out on their own terms. What was it? Oh, own terms. Will you please give a brief description of Zionism? I'll give you my definition. I guess I could look up an actual definition. That's probably better because I'll be jaded. Let me look it up. Nationalist and political movement that advocates for the self-determination of the Jewish people and the support of the Jewish homeland and their ancestral territory, corresponding roughly to the land of Israel. Encompasses various philosophical, religious, and political perspectives. That's the dictionary definition. I don't agree with it, but that's the dictionary definition. And I think that's what they were talking about in those messages. B, in 13 with sepsis, I coded 4 times, coma 3 weeks, had locked-in syndrome 1 week, prayers to the fam, and early super chat with brain death. My heart goes out to the fam. Christ is king indeed. I can't imagine making that call. That is way above any decision I want to make for anybody. So I am nothing but mercy and prayers for those people. The only reason I even mentioned the story is because I just read it this weekend. It was like fresh on my mind. Christ is king indeed. Your chat went crazy when you showed you don't watch Will Sexton. That gives me hope people are awake. Baron, get on it, get caught up. All right, I will. I will. I'm writing a note right now. All right, I'm done. I found it. I think I found it. I'll get caught up. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. On a lighter note, I had my first Wickles today. I coughed for 10 minutes. You coughed from Wickles? Mi amiga. Wickles are amazing. I mean, amazing. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess if no one warned you, there was a little warmth behind it. Maybe to cut you, but there's a pepper floating in the sauce. You should have seen that. But I hope you give it another try now that you know. We would absolutely make sure your family is taken care of if, God forbid, anything happened to you. We're all family first, community second. Guys, let's take that off the table. Your humble host is feeling great. He's never been happier. He lives a dream life. I wake up every morning and do this just to make sure the life I'm living is real. I've had those dreams before, actually, where you like in your dream you lived some other life, or at least like you were experiencing a day or two of some other life, and you were wildly successful, or you were like on Skid Row, or like there's a totally different life than you live now, and you wake up and you're like, oh man, really? I was a trillionaire. I've done it. So I wake up every day and I'm like, yep, I lived the best life ever. I cannot imagine me living a life more fun and full of love and community and better children. Now a grandchild. Got to hold that grandbaby yesterday. She was perfect. Perfect. Baron, happy Father's Day as a granddad this year. Just ordered merch yesterday. Can't wait to sport it. Thank you for sharing your much needed wisdom with the world. St. Michael, ora pro nobis. Christ is King indeed. Your humble host and Mrs. Coleman say the St. Michael prayer at the end of every day. We said it at the end of Mass today. My desire to see crumbling of TP equals my love and grief for Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that's probably it. That's where it comes from. I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit because we're 3 hours and 20 minutes in, which means some super chats may not get read. If you're commenting from here on out and you're just only gonna comment if I'm gonna read it, hold off, do it another day. I will read everything after the show while it processes because it takes about 30 or 45 minutes. But I do want to spend a little time with my family at the end of the night here on Father's Day. So I'm gonna move expeditiously through some of these. Hearing the collection total for your dear friend restores my faith in humanity. The same, young lady. This is the evidence of the light that remains in the world. God bless. God bless you. So thrilled we could come together and help with the financial worry. At least now they have room to grieve without that worry. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Wow. That's a beautiful quote. If that's Churchill, indeed, that's beautiful. Please explain to me how TPUSA can have a .gov address but be a private company. I cannot wrap my head around it. What am I missing? They don't have a .gov address. Arizona Senate Republicans have a .gov address. It's just all the tracking is heading back to TPUSA. And that's the terrifying part of it, is that's a .gov address. And it's being tracked by TPUSA servers. Or a service for TPUSA. But Baron, happy Father's Day. Prayers to Jeff's wife, children, family, and friends. I will continue to pray for them. Thank you for everything that you and your team do. I appreciate you. Christ is King indeed. Indeed. Happy Father's Day, Baron. You've been many places with me during my husband's transplant surgery, from Florida to New York City. Had people stop me and celebrate my high IQ outfits thanks to your merch. Oh, that just warms my heart when people say that. My own daughter got stopped at the grocery store. And she was like, that's my dad. I was like, don't tell people that. Don't tell people that. Tell them you're a fan. We don't need people knowing that out in public. So, but yeah. Thank you. Newfound Gap, halfway through the Smokies. Stop there while hiking the Appalachian Trail. Lots of history there. I have great photos and memories. Thank you for all you do, Baron. Christ is King indeed. Thank you. I had a friend in high school that hiked a good percentage of the Appalachians, and when he got home, he looked like he was dead. He looked so terrible. Just ordered the Go Max shirt. I hope I get it by July 4th. I want everyone at the 2 cookouts that day to ask what it means so I can tell them about your podcast. I already do anyway. Christ is King indeed. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very kind. Very kind. Keep posting the GSG every night. Different viewers, we can raise it higher. 282. Is it 282 now? Mackerel, guys. 283 now. I just hit refresh. You guys are incredible. Incredible. The Widow. Happy Father's Day. I read that in Dana Lash's voice, Allie Top Files. That was Allie's find that I was playing earlier. If you guys are playing along at home. Let's see. Good evening to you, humble host and grand jury. Happy Father's Day. I've been meaning to ask what dog breed Tilly is. I crochet lovies and wanted to make your sweet grandbaby a Tilly of her own. Oh, that's very, very sweet. So I think we've settled on Carolina dog. She looks just like this. If you're wondering. I mean, this could be her. That looks exactly like my dog. 100% like my dog. So if you've ever wondered what Tilber looks like, it's that. But she wears a pink dress, not a red dress. This dog wears a red dress. Tilly wears a pink dress. And if you take it off, she constantly, where's my pink dress? What did you do with my pink dress? You're looking around for the pink dress. This is a red dress. But Von Tilber wears a pink dress. But she looks just like that. Same build through the body, the hind end, tail color at the tip, strength through the shoulders, coloring around the nose and snout, even that white hair right on the snout of the nose. That is my dog. It's not really, but it is. That's a Carolina dog breed. That's what I think she is. I used to think she was a Feist dog, but I think she's a little big for a Feist. She kind of looks like a brown Feist, but she's, 50 pounds. So she's probably a Carolina dog. But thank you. That'd be very kind. Bless this podcast may continue to grow and spread the word. I don't know if you've considered helping Mrs. Armstrong find help investing. What a blessing it would be for her to stay home with the babies as long as possible. Christ is king indeed. I'm going to stay in my lane. She, she has a lot of support around her. I'm sure somebody may recommend that to her. I don't know. She's very sharp. She's a very smart woman. So I don't look for her to get scammed or anything. She's very sharp. But maybe I'll mention it to one of the people I know talks to her quite a lot and just say, hey, you might want to talk to somebody about finding a safe way to take care of this. It's a good call. I hadn't considered it. Christ is king indeed. Hey, B, it's Angel Parker from Florida. Rest easy and know that we would step up for your family if ever needed. We got you. Jesus Christ is Lord and King. Guys, let's keep the focus on the here and now. I'm alive. Don't make me go burn hands. I'll do it. How do we know Israel's not the 51st state? If Israel was the 51st state, they'd only control 2 senators. I think they're the first state, aren't they? No, I didn't say that. Don't come for me. I love my life. Baron, happy Father's Day. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Cradle Catholic here. I watch and love The Chosen. I Google the cities they talk about on the show. The current alleged Israel is not the true geographic Israel. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I've never done that. Never in a day have I done such a thing. Granny Pam. Very happy Father's Day. Thank you for being a man of integrity, honesty, and humility. Reminds me so much of my dad, whom I lost when I was 19. Prayer for Jeffrey's family and friends. Christ is king indeed. Gosh, you lost your dad at 19. You're so kind, too. So kind. Thank you. Happy Father's Day, Baron. Just thought I do not trust Steve Bannon whatsoever. Would like to know your thoughts. So if I'm walking through the woods and I see a giant hornet's nest, like a giant hornet's nest, I got 2 options. I can disturb the nest in some capacity, walk too close, kick it, poke it with a stick, or I can walk the other way. Your humble host in such a scenario would say, you know what? I'm going that way. I'm not going to do that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. During Thursday's show, as I watched the dollar for Jeff's fam grow, I saw a pic in my mind of Jeff, Charlie talking as they watched the scene from above. So much mutual respect between them, with both awe, humility, what Jerry was doing for them. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? A lot of the reason, Charlie, in a sense, tangentially and a couple steps removed, but was the reason a lot of people were able to help him or help her and or help him help his family. That'd be wild. That would be wild. Happy Father's Day, Baron. Hope you had a great day. Been to P.O. Box lately. Sent you something. God bless you and your family. No, and I have to confess, I told a lie Friday. I didn't intend to tell a lie, so it's not really a lie, but I was wrong. I said I was going to leave the show and go straight to the P.O. Box, but it was a 4.5 hour show, and I got off, and everyone in my house wanted to talk to me. And it was hard. It was a very hard decision, but I was like, can you guys give me 30 minutes of silence? I just talked for 4.5 straight hours. I have no voice left to talk. And so I got my little moment of silence, and then I started talking to them. I didn't want to just take off after that. So I've not been by there. What time is it? I'm not going to go tonight because I want to spend a little time with the family. I'll go in the morning. So thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Steph. Thank you. It's not super close to my house. I kind of got to drive a little ways to get there. So I try to consolidate to like once every week. Mr. B, you've not only created a high IQ outfit, but also a high EQ outfit. Oh, we sounding good out here, huh? Lost my dad in 2003, my son in 2016, my husband in 2020. We celebrated them along with my remaining son and sons-in-law. I've been blessed to have such a wonderful men in my life. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Barron. Christ is king indeed. Littered hen, you have a great outlook. I wish everybody had a great outlook like you. That would just be stunning, you know? There's everybody positive like that. But my B, number one fan, Tampa, Florida. Shout out to Nurse Casey. Cancer NP here. Everyone has to put up with me saying we never landed on the moon and H5N9 was the real COVID. Christ is king indeed. Happy Father's Day. Well, Kate, it's hard being right all the time. It's a big burden. I carry it around daily. I get it. I kid. I get things wrong occasionally, but not very often. Thank you for all you do. It's been incredible seeing this community come together for your friends, family during this difficult time. Praying for you all. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Shoo. Learning that Charlie didn't write his own tweets just hit me hard. Charlie's spoken words in person felt so much more authentic now looking back at it. Number one fan from Greenville, Tennessee here. We're neighbors. Love you so much. I love you more, Heather Bish. I'm looking up where Greenville, Tennessee is. Neighbors indeed. If I ever get all the way to Greenville, I've been past Greenville. Been up 81 all the way to Kingsport. I've been all the way to Carlisle, Pennsylvania on it. We are neighbors, I guess. Volunteers. Yeah, I think it hits a lot of people hard when you realize that Andrew wrote the tweets, you know. For various reasons, CK's murder being one of them. I've been down on humanity. Community support for Jeff and the World Cup posts regarding us real Americans has restored my faith in humanity. Thank you, B. Christ is king indeed. I will say both of those are great examples of kind humanity. The way Americans have embraced the world, people from dozens of countries coming to the United States in hordes, thousands of them, welcoming them, loving them, showing them around, being kind to them at ball games and restaurants and Buc-ee's, at the beach, lakes, in the woods. I mean, it's great. These people are like the best advertising America's ever had. They go back home and they're like, America's great. Why do you guys call it the Great Satan? It's amazing. The people of America are amazing. If you've never been here. Thank you. Very kind. If you're using Zen and not Tucker's product Alp, you might as well order some HelloFresh. I'm using neither. I don't advertise nicotine, so I'm not going to show you what I'm using, but it's a different brand. It's got no flavor, no sweetener. It's just nicotine crystalline and some filler, some methyl cellulose. And or not methyl cellulose, some cellulose. And it's got the reason I'm using this particular brand right now is it's got a 1.5 milligram version. Almost no other brand has it. And so I'm stepping down to quit again. So you go from 9 to 6 to 3. Now I'm down to 1.5s. And I'm getting to where I don't even really want them in the morning. I don't really want them until after 12ish. So I feel like I'm in the process of quitting already, just going down to such a low dose. But I don't advertise nicotine. I don't wish people would do it. So I don't even want to show you the brand. But that's the reason why I'm using this. That's why I'm not using Alp. Do I have any competition for number one fan from Minneapolis? Oh, yeah. Lots of competition. Thank you for being a good force in the world. Please take good care of yourself and your family. Christ is king indeed. But because of that message, you'll have the number one. We don't need all those other people. No, we do. I kid. I wonder why all Charlie's tweets prior to 2025 are gone. Are they? Are they? I'll have to go back and look at that. I have not heard that. Mabi, is there any chance that all of us who donated money to TPUSA after Charlie's death can start a class action lawsuit? Yes. I don't want to encourage that, but yes. Or at least, I think you could at least file a lawsuit for misuse of your donations. Tyrant will always find a pretext for their tyranny, real or imagined. Agreed. Do we trust Senator Mike Lee? A week before Big Bang, Charlie Kirk interviewed him. Charlie said the left's rhetoric was going to get someone killed. Mike Lee acted differently than normal. That night, I had a feeling of dread, and the words, 3 Utah schools is too many, Charlie, repeated in my head. I don't know. I had not seen that. Mike Lee interview, Charlie Kirk, September 2025. All right, I'll find it after the show. I've not. Thank you for that very generous donation. I've not watched it. I don't think. First super, I try never to miss an episode, but had to say, I'm addicted to near-death experience stories too. Completely changes perspective of this life we're living. Yeah, it's pretty wild when you get into them. Some of them I think are lies. I think they're making them up. But some of them I'm like, woo. Told my husband today we're expecting our first child. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Any new dad advice for him? Keep up the great work. Christ is king. No, just go with your gut, man. Go with your gut. Raise your kid your way. Don't listen to me. Just love them. Just love them. Hey, King Baron. Happy Father's Day. Hex says tattoo means infidel in Arabic. I didn't see the point of putting it on his body. I got to look that up too. Hegseth tattoo infidel. Let's see that. I don't see the point either. Sounds like that day and that event was created for exactly what happened to Charlie. I'm behind. Happy Father's Day, Baron. You don't sound behind at all. You sound totally with it because I think there's a lot of truth in what you just said. Hi, silent listener here. I watched Zach C's latest video, and he did share a clue of you and our principal collaborating again. Forgive me if you've just started listening. Happy Father's Day, by the way. I don't know that we ever stopped. I mean, I never felt like we stopped. I'll have to watch it. Zach Costello? I could just text Zach and ask him what the heck he's talking about. I'll ask him all about it. Thank you. Good intel. Whatever happened to that super chatter that had the mysterious horse profile pic? She would never tell our humble host what it meant. Yeah, you're talking about, oh gosh, what was her name or his name? Was it Eden something? Gosh, I missed that. She was great. Blue Cheer. It was Blue Cheer. I miss old Blue Cheer. Where's Blue Cheer been? I miss that tall looking horse. Maybe she got mad at me asking all the time. You saw me in the chat because I said hi, Baron. Well, yeah, I didn't want to let all that in. Did you watch Erica's recent interview at Turning Point Education's Educator Summit? She not so subtly brings up a few lies she's been clocked on. It's painfully poor PR on TP Education YouTube. No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw clips. I'll watch it though. That's a good call. I probably should watch it. I may watch it in the morning. Good comment. Happy Father's Day, Baron. I lost my dad when I was 14. He was 50. Still hurts 30 years later. Prayers for your friend and his family. Christ is king indeed. I almost said, man, your dad was kind of older when he had you because you'd have been 36. But then I realized I had 3 kids after I was 36. So I didn't feel sad. And he was a young, spry whippersnapper, wasn't he? Gosh. Thank you for sharing that. I live in Midland, Texas. Love this community and love watching your show. Keep going, Max. I know there are brilliant people in Midland. There have to be. You're among them. Thank you. In my mind, John Aaron Bray has now proved his theory beyond a reasonable doubt, and I don't take it lightly. Check his latest on Trigger Smart. Love you, man. Keep it up. Christ is king indeed. Reasonable doubt's a very high standard. A very high standard. Meant to comment. Anyone else stoked for Candace and Sean Ryan? Hoping it comes out tomorrow. Very stoked. Very stoked indeed. Also stoked to come back with you guys tomorrow night, where I will be right here at this. Well, not the same time. It'll probably be a little later. Probably 6 or 7 o'clock God's time, Central Daylight Time. But I hope you join me. I hope you. Well, let me check in real quickly. Just refreshed the fundraiser. 283,580. That's where it sits. That's incredible. I will drop. It's already did it. I'll drop it in the description of the program for those that wanted to see the link. But thank you. You guys have been amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for joining me here on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy, I know it's a tough day for some people. I'm not blind to that. If you just lost your father a week ago, obviously this is going to be a tough Father's Day. Or if you lost your father a year ago or 2 years ago, it could still be a very tough Father's Day. But thank you for joining me. I'll be back. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Don't forget. You almost forgot. Jesus loves you. All right, guys. I will be back. 22-ish hours, 21, 22 hours, maybe 23. And we'll see you then. Have a wonderful evening.